Welcome to Paul Engen Field on the campus of Appleton North High School, the site for tonight's Fox Valley Association showdown between the visiting Kimberly Papermakers and the host Appleton North Lightning. A perfect weather day, and we are proud to bring you yet another USA Today Network Wisconsin digital live stream. I'm Ricardo Arguello, hanging out as always with Brett Christopherson and bringing you those high-definition shots. Jim Rosandick, again, we're all part of the USA Today Network Wisconsin digital live stream team, and this is a big one. Every year, Brett, you and I, we circled this one in the calendar, and for good reason, because these are two programs that you can certainly put at the very top in terms of elite status in Division I.
Ricardo, two of the best in the state, right? You got, obviously, we know the recent run of Kimberly, those 5 straight state championships, a 70-game win streak, a state record. Appleton North, so close last year to finally getting over that hump and getting to Madison, a state semifinalist. Losing to Franklin, we'll talk about that and maybe how the team is bouncing back. So far, so good. Both teams undefeated. Both teams ranked in the top 10 in the state of Wisconsin, and both the WisSports.net state coaches poll and the Associated Press large division poll as well. It's going to be interesting, though, Ricardo. Last week, we saw this Appleton North team against Kaukauna. We streamed that game. We were expecting a little bit more of a run-oriented look, and what do? They come out and they throw the ball with Luke Kreitzer, Caden Pop, 3 touchdown passes, a field goal, all the extra points. He accounted for all 24 points. Very impressed with the passing attack by Appleton North in that 24-0 victory over Kaukauna. We know the defense is going to be good, right? They have talent at all 3 levels. Just kind of wondering how they were going to kind of fill the gaps of graduation with some of these new guys. So far, so good. Not sure what to expect, though, tonight. Are they going to continue to try to air it out, or are they going to go back to that run game, which was so dominant in weeks 1 and 2? Conversely, you look at Kimberly. They haven't missed a beat with the new coaching change. Chad Michaelwitz has come in, and it looks like business as usual, Ricardo. This looks like a team that is almost in midseason form. They're destroying everybody. They had running clock last week in the victory over Oshkosh North, 35-0 halftime lead over the Spartans. Seth Myron doing a good job at quarterback, Blake Berry. This is a team, though, I don't know what to expect because they can pass and they can run. Kind of doing what Kimberly does. Pick your poison. What are you going to stop? Which strength are you going to stop? Because they're both phases very strong in the offensive attack. And, of course, a defense with talent as well on all 3 levels. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a battle, and we wouldn't expect anything less when it's Kimberly versus Appleton North.
Well said, Brett. Again, we're here at Paul Engen Field. Kimberly Papermakers visiting the Appleton North Lightning every year. This game is, seen by the football enthusiasts around the state as the game of that week, and that's certainly the case this week again. Let's take a look at some Appleton North notes put together again by Brett Christopherson, and he'll follow with some Kimberly notes. Appleton North ranked number 8 in Division I in this week's WisSports.net state coaches poll. They're 10th in the large division poll in the Associated Press state rankings. And they're coming off, as Brett mentioned, a 24-0 shutout of Kaukauna last Friday in an FVA contest at Kaukauna. Standout receiver, Caden Pope, did I say that right? Pop. Accounted for all 24 points, Brett. He caught 3 touchdown passes.
Had a big game.
He did. Those TD passes were 18, 19, and 29 yards. He also kicked all 3 extra points and connected on the 29-yard field goal as time expired in the first half. He finished with 5 catches for 112 yards. Quarterback Luke Kreitzer was outstanding, throwing for 167 yards and 3 scores on 13 of 19 passing. And here's where, Brett, I talked with Coach Som, they're a little different this year. They're not that power run game that they had last year with Carl Motini. They get the job done, that rushing game. Jack Robinson led Appleton North's rushing attack with 84 yards on 22 carries. Kreitzer also showed ability to run. He had 44 yards on 8 attempts. And overall, the Lightning rushed for 143 yards and totaled 310 in all. Now, defensively, Appleton North strong as usual. They limited what had been an explosive Kaukauna offense to just 168 yards, including 25 yards on the ground. Stone Hulkey, maybe one of our top name team guys, Brett.
Oh, yeah.
Credited with 3 of the Lightning's 6 total sacks. Brock Arndt tallied 12 tackles. And Brock Thal came up with a key interception in the win. And on the season, Kreitzer has thrown for 240 yards, 4 touchdowns while completing 60% of his passes. Jack Hamas has also seen action at quarterback with 49 yards on 5 of 8 passing. Robinson is the Lightning's top rusher with 218 yards and a touchdown on 52 attempts. Hamas is next with 202 yards and 2 scores on 33 carries. And Kreitzer showing some wheels. He's rushed for 169 yards on 19 carries. Now, Pop's 10 receptions are a team high. He also leads the team in receiving yards with 163 and receiving touchdowns with 3. Owen Hager, Damian Borland and Hamas are next with 4 receptions apiece. Hager has 52 receiving yards and a score. And defensively, this is a great linebacking unit, and Arndt leads the way with 22 total tackles, including 2 for loss. Hulke's 3 sacks is tops on the teams in that category, and Psalm has posted a team-best 2 picks. And as a team, Appleton North is averaging 96.3 passing yards per game and allowing 96. Their run game's averaging 227 yards per game and allowing just 23. Appleton North is averaging 27 points and allowing 4.3. I don't care where you are, Brett. That's a heck of a...
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty good. And their next matchup, whoa, another big one. That's at Neenah next Friday. The Rockets are still undefeated, and that's a FBA matchup. I think Neenah's going against Fond du Lac this week.
That's a big game.
Kickoff for that Appleton North Neenah game is scheduled for 7 o'clock. Brett, what can you tell me about those paper makers?
Well, like Appleton North, pick Kimberly or Ricardo 3-0 overall, 1-0 in the Fox Valley Association. Papermakers ranked number 2 in Division 1 in this week's WithSports.net State Coaches Poll. They're also ranked second in the large division in this week's Associated Press State Poll, and they're coming off a resounding 42-7 victory over Oshkosh North last Friday. That was a Fox Valley Association matchup over at Kimberly. As I mentioned before, Kimberly led 35-0 at the half as quarterback Seth Myron, he tossed 3 touchdowns, and running back Blake Berry rushed for 2 more scores. Myron connected with 3 different receivers on his TDs, a 24-yarder to Brennan Grams, 5-yarder to Isaac Deckent, and a 12-yarder to Ethan Kreider. Meanwhile, Berry hit pay dirt on runs of 11 and 5 yards. Also scoring for Kimberly, don't forget about this guy in the running game, Ricardo, Gavin Tyson.
Yes.
Nice combo with him and Blake Berry. Tyson scored on a 5-yard touchdown run. Myron, by the way, he threw for 93 yards on 9 of 14 passing. Also picked off twice. Berry led Kimberly led a Kimberly rushing attack, I should say, that finished with 170 yards. With 170 yards on 17 carries for him. Tyson added 44 yards on 10 attempts. Grams caught 4 passes for 41 yards, while Lance Doring finished with 2 receptions for 40 yards. Defensively, man, get this. The Papermakers limited the Spartans to just 65 yards. How about that? Ethan Doucette and Brody Beck tallied 4 tackles apiece. On the season, Myron has thrown for 376 yards and 8 touchdowns while completing 76.7% of his passes. His passing yardage, by the way, that ranks 3rd in the FBA. Berry is the team leader in rushing, 414 yards and 7 TDs already. He's averaging 9 yards per carry and 138 yards per game. His rushing total, that ranks 2nd in the conference. Kreider is the Papermakers' top receiver with 8 catches for 180 yards and 4 touchdowns. And let's look at the defensive side. Defensively, Doucette's 21 tackles and 2 sacks lead the way in those categories. As a team, Kimberly is averaging 142 passing yards per game and allowing just 77.7. And the Papermakers are also averaging 215.3 rushing yards per game and allowing just 55.3. As a team, averaging Kimberly in points on the scoreboard, 46.3 points, and giving up just 6.7. We'll take a pause right now. Presentation of the colors happening here at Paul Engen Field, and then our national anthem next.
Please remain standing until the colors have been removed from the field. Please. Please join together in singing our national anthem, played by the Lightning Marching Band and conducted by band director Ms. Amanda Belaine. Please remain standing.
Welcome back to Paul Engen Field, campus of Appleton North High School. Big game tonight. Our varsity game of the week, prep football live stream. Number 2, Kimberly. Number 10, Appleton North. It's like the game of the century, part 10. That seems like every year, right?
Great, and it's great, and we're always happy to bring it. Brett, we're excited to be here. There's a lot of media here, as you would expect, and they're expecting overflow crowd. I mean, it was tough getting in here for me. I pulled in around 6:20, and I already had to park way away.
Maybe,
well, not too far away.
Maybe you should arrive when Rosie and I come.
Not when you're at work till 3:30 in the morning, Brett.
You're young.
Yeah.
You're young. Hey, thanks to our sponsors. First, Cellcom fall into savings this month at Cellcom with up to $500 in savings when you activate a new smartphone line and trade in your existing device. Visit cellcom.com/save for details. And Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Get your team, club, or business name out there with Cooney's. They customize products specifically to fit their customers' needs. Family owned for 20 years, they have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your organization. Delivery service is available. Contact them today at 920-731-0922 or send them an email. Coonies, Cooneys 0922 at sbcglobal.net. You know, Ricardo, you mentioned obviously a game of really statewide interest here, 2 premier programs in Division I, but this is a really impressive week as far as games go around Northeast Wisconsin, even in the Fox Valley Association. You mentioned Fond du Lac at Neenah, that's a big one. And then you've got some other key games. Pulaski at Bayport just up the road, both 3-0 in the FRCC North. The Apple Bowl, Xavier and
that's right,
a very good under-the-radar Fox Valley Lutheran team. Boy, they're putting up some serious points right now, the Foxes. So definitely some game. Mayville and Winnebago Lutheran, that's a big one. Ashwaubenon West of Pierce. So we're going to keep our eye on a lot of these games here in Week 4, but definitely a fantastic matchup. I can't believe it's Week 4 already. I was telling Rosie at halftime we'll already be halfway through the regular season. How about that? I think Ricardo's mind's been blown, Rosie. By the way, Kimberly, they're at Appleton East next week. Fox Valley Association matchup kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m. That's at Pickett Field. Beautiful night, Ricardo.
It's gorgeous, and I'm hoping these nights last a little bit longer.
They will. I think next week, Rosie and I were talking, I think it's supposed to be, after this little rainy stretch, it's supposed to be very nice at the back end of next week and warm as well. Rosie can work on his tan. I'm expecting nice hot weather all the way through the state semifinals. Appreciate everybody checking us out tonight, postcrescent.com. Also streaming, Ricardo, to all of the I-41 sites, the Green Bay Press Gazette, Oshkosh Northwestern, Fond du Lac Reporter, all of the Facebook pages, and our USA Today Network Wisconsin YouTube channel. Give that a look-see, a subscribe, would you please? And speaking of subscriptions, as long as we're waiting for opening kickoff, we've got a great deal right now on a digital subscription to the Post Crescent and any of our USA Today Network Wisconsin sites for the next year.
Next year.
You can get all the benefits included with a digital subscription for just $9.99. Go to postcrescent.com/subscribe. 1 year, $9.99. You can't go wrong. And I'll talk about all the good stuff that is included with unlimited digital access.
Getting ready, a little bit of a delayed start.
Kimberly to kick off this evening. Second straight week we've seen Appleton North. Trent Mullen back to receive the kick. Ricardo, our second time also seeing Kimberly. We were in Stevens Point week 1 when the Papermakers had no trouble getting past Spash.
That's true.
And again, really, Kimberly just been very impressive so far here in the early stages of this season. See if that continues tonight. I know you talked to both coaches for a preview stories. Mullen has it at the 5. Fumble right out of the chute. Turnover, Ricardo. Kimberly has it at the 30.
Yeah, number 23, Brett. Brendan Graham's Johnny on the spot.
Recovered by number 23, Brennan Graham.
And that's one of the keys of the game, Brett, is which team is going to make the least amount of mistakes.
Ooh.
And right out of the chute.
Special teams right at the 30-yard line for the Papermakers. I didn't see who knocked the ball out of Mullen's hands there, but yeah, Grahams picks it up. And look at this field position for a Kimberly offense that has yet to be slowed. So 1st and 10 for Kimberly off the turnover on the game's opening kickoff as Myron waiting for the snap. And he's going to sling it right away. That's Jackson Garbish. And that's a first down, 11-yard pickup.
Right away, you see Seth Myron
Getting him into a rhythm,
Yeah,
Ricardo.
getting him into rhythm and finding the open receiver and letting, the athlete be an athlete.
As I said in the open, what do you stop? Because both phases have been very effective. You're seeing the development of some of these new receivers after we saw Cam Winnick and Owen Polakowski, how good those guys were last year. Now we see Garbish getting into it. But you got the running attack and Blake Berry right there with it, looking for some tough yards there, about 4 yards maybe, 2nd and 6. Ball going to be at the 15-yard line, but it's kind of a pick your poison because so far they've been able to do really everything well.
Yeah, that offensive line is going to be critical for Kimberly. That offensive line of Kreider, Garbish. I'm sorry, that's the receivers, Kreider, Garbish, and Grams. Our offensive line is Loker, Dickman, Schwerer, Youngworth, and Plowman.
Don't forget about Decken as the fullback.
And then, they have the tight end, Coronado.
Myron on the roll. Whoa.
That was a close play.
Yeah.
It looked like, was that Mullen who was close to Psalm, the PA announcer?
Brennan Graham's the intended receiver, number 23 for the Papermakers.
Well,
Risky throw.
Yeah, and what a win this would be for Appleton North's defense if they're able to hold here.
Well, that defense looked very, very tough last week against Kakano. Again, Kakano was putting up some big yards in the first 2 weeks, and 2 straight shutouts, Ricardo, for this Appleton North defense as well. Myron going to hand off. Barry, wow, bit hit hard. That's number 53. Brock Arndt, of course, right? Coming in there, shooting the gap, bringing down Barry, 4th down.
No gain on that play, Brett.
Had Barry, Ricardo, by the ankles and was just not going to let go.
That's a great linebacking crew for Appleton North. I mentioned that in one of my wrap-up columns that Frontel, they got Isom, Stone Hulkey, and then you see Brock Arndt coming up with the big play.
So it looks like a 30-yard attempt, and it is good. And getting some points off that turnover for the Papermakers. Ricardo, I have that as a 30-yard field goal.
That's what I have it too. Is it Hunter Berry?
Yes. So Hunter Berry knocks it through. So getting some points, and there's the end of the shutout streak. 8 straight quarters for the Appleton North defense. Of course, you can't really pin that, though, on the defense after the fumble on the opening kickoff.
I'm about to update my Twitter. You can follow me at Ricardo DeLeon, Ricardo, then Delian. You can follow Brett at PC Brett C and Rosie at Metal Rosie.
Papermakers will kick off. Hunter Berry will do the kicking. Beat to receive. Trent Mullen, number 21.
3-0 Kimberly lead as we look at our Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery Sportswear scoreboard. I think that's a win for the defense, don't you?
It is.
Yeah, the last score allowed by Appleton North, that came in its week 1 victory over Green Bay Southwest, 15-13. That was a 98-yard touchdown pass with 6:01 remaining in the fourth quarter. Trojans in that one, Ricardo, they tried to tie the game on a 2-point conversion but failed as the Lightning held on for the win. Since then, Appleton North had gone 8 straight quarters without giving up a score. And that ball live at the 10. And, woo, big hit there. That was Mullen on the return, and Cade Bookinger, the senior for Appleton North, or for Kimberly, kind of meeting there along the sideline, Ricardo. Big hit for both kids. And our first crack at seeing the North offense ball at the 20-yard line, 1st and 10 for Appleton North.
Quarterback for the Lightning.
So what do you expect? A little pass, a little run? I'm not sure. After last week, I thought it was going to be more run-oriented than that Kreitzer to Pop connection was lethal.
Maybe that kind of we don't know what's going on is a good thing for the Lightning, as we see right up the middle is that Robinson.
Yeah, number 17, Jack Robinson, the junior running back.
Jack Robinson, the ball carrier.
Doing some good things early in this season. Boy, how many years was Cal Martini here?
2nd and 7.
Seems odd not to see Big Cal now at Eastern Illinois.
He looked like a lineman when he ran. I mean, he was a big kid.
He could run, though.
He could. And I mean that in terms of physical size, not the way he ran. He had nimble feet.
Very fast for his size. Eastern Illinois, of course, took one on the chin last week against Wisconsin at Camp Randall Stadium. Rosie was there.
He was.
Kreitzer, the lefty, and kind of a tough low throw. That's to number 12, Jack Hammis.
To number 12, Amos. No gain on the play.
So a 3rd and long situation, Brett. And here's where that development of Kreitzer kind of comes in. Is how far along is he after these first 3 games? Can he be depended on to convert some of these, 3rd and long situations, Brett, that you're inevitably going to run into when facing Kimberly's defense?
Well, let's see what is in the playbook here on 3rd down as Kreitzer waiting for the snap. The lefty, he's going to, I'm not sure what he wanted to do there, if he wanted to option it or not much there, though. Number 95, that's Braxton Roeder, R-O-E-D-E-R, the defensive lineman, number 95 for Kimberly. So 3 and out, Ricardo, for Appleton North.
And deep to receive.
Yeah, it appeared that he had the option of pitching it and decided to take it himself up the middle. Not much there, though, Brett, but I think he made the most of what he had, but brings up a punting situation for the Lightning.
Good discipline for that Kimberly defense, too, Ricardo. Ty Lott, number 2, Jack Stotts, number 3, back for this one. And
whoa, takes a nice north bounce. Look at this.
Yeah.
Let it roll if you're a Lightning.
At some point, you're kind of in no man's land there, right? You just have to get away from it and hope that the turf monster is kind to you. Instead, it was kind to Appleton North, so they'll mark this ball at the 20-yard line. 80 yards to go for Kimberly.
Brett, this is a 53-yard punt. Not bad.
Hey, with turf, I think I could punt one.
Oh, come on.
60 yards. I might pop a hammy. Got pretty tight hamstrings,
Well, I guess you're right. That comes with a lot of the roll, but I see you.
3-0 on the field goal by Barry. 30-yard field goal. Kimberly off that opening fumble on the game's opening kickoff. Boy, there's not much running room against that North defense, is there? Blake Berry.
Barry came in averaging, I think, 9 yards a carry.
He did, yeah.
It's going to be tough tonight against that Appleton North defense. I think they're allowing maybe 2.2 yards. I can't recall what the actual number was, but they're doing a great job against the rushing game.
Well, that's what we expect, though, right? 2 premier programs. It should be difficult. 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7, I guess. Ball at the 23-yard line for the Papermakers. Second offensive series. Is that a little
sweep?
Oh, nice little cut inside. Finally tripped up, but that's a good little gain for Brendan Grahams, the junior defensive. He's listed as a defensive back on the roster, but doing some things in the receiving department for Kimberly as well. So 3rd and about 3.5. Ball will be at about the 27-yard line, 26-yard line.
Going to bring up 3rd down and 4. Ball to 26.
Ricardo, you caught up with both coaches, didn't you? For as I
Yeah.
was reading your story. Okay, what was the gist? What were they? I guess for Kimberly and Chad Michael, what's the first-year coach? They haven't been tested yet, is what he was
Yeah, a
talking
little bit.
about.
Like there's some unknowns for both teams. They're both figuring something out. I mean, and we see Myron going down.
Myron is brought down.
That's number 57, Brett.
Brady Lamon.
Brady
Laman. Brady Laman, Ricardo. 6'1" junior linebacker. But you know what? Credit the coverage in the backside. Myron had nowhere to go with the ball, and can't stand back there too long before that Appleton North defense is going to get after you.
And to get back to what you were talking about before, Brett, if you looked at Appleton North, just the growth and progression over the first 3 games has been astounding. And again, that's what both these teams are doing. They're getting better each and every week. And look out.
Good punt.
I think Hulke was getting
Wow.
close to a blocked punt
That was
there.
a good bounce there too, Ricardo.
It did. And
out of bounds at about the 32-yard
Yeah, it really has. I mean, you look at that Week 1 Appleton North game against Green Bay Southwest. That was kind of an eyebrow raiser for us, right? 15-13. We were expecting a little bit more of a lopsided win for Appleton North.
a little misleading, though, because they had over 400 yards rushing and just weren't able to finish. And, it looked it looked every bit the part, I should say, as a first game, Brett, in mid-August.
But since then, 2 straight shutouts. And all set for this big Week 4 matchup. See who can get a leg up in the FVA race. Is Kreitzer is that Robinson on the far side. Nice little floater to Robinson, who's finally wrestled out at the 40. And again, a lot of new faces, right? You kind of have to just continue to build, continue to grind, and some new faces on that Kimberly side as well. But again, I know Chad Michaelwitz, he wanted to be tested a little bit more.
He did, and that's maybe a little bit of a concern. He raised that. He's like, well, I don't know how these kids are going to handle kind of like a close game or something like that. And because most games against the Lightning have been close, Brett.
Kreitzer, oh, wow.
Look at that. Trying to see who had him first.
I think that might have been 49.
It was 49. Good eye, Brett.
Brody Beck, the junior linebacker, was not fooled. And again, showing good discipline, Ricardo. Not fooled by anything. Stayed right in his gap and just took down Kreitzer. Conversely, though, I was interesting comments by Rob Some in your preview story. He was just kind of, let's have some fun here.
Yeah, because I think they have a team that, they're young in some spots, some key positions, Brett. And it's like, look, let's not put too much on their plate. Let them have fun first, and then we'll see what happens later, because this is a long season, Brett. Their season isn't going to be defined by tonight.
Oh, not at all. 3rd down. Kreitzer going to sling it over. Oh, nice catch by Pop, and he's got the first down after getting hit hard. Good hands and concentration.
That in a good route, Brett. I think he got himself open, and Kreitzer did a good job of rifling that one in there.
Pop, number 19.
Pop took a pop there, but he held on.
Brett, that's the first first down for Appleton North.
Yeah. Somebody to watch, too, in this passing game. He's lined up there on the end, the tight end, right? Damian Borland.
Yes.
He's a good one, and sleep on him, and you're going to pay. Kreitzer drops back. He's going to rainbow one down. Oh, that's going to be too far. Pretty good coverage there.
Yeah, and I think there's some miscommunication there because
Drew Iden was the DB.
Wasn't completing the route. I don't know if there was miscommunication. Was that supposed to be a shorter route? Was he supposed to break that off?
Caden Prince, the sophomore, number 16, was the intended receiver, but Drew Iden all over him on that pass attempt. 2nd and 10 ball at the 45-yard line. Again, if you missed the opening kickoff, Appleton North fumbled. Kimberly turned that into a 30-yard field goal. That's where we're at as we look at our Cellcom Coonies Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Kreitzer on the run again, and nice. Almost a catch, but
that was
Borland. I want to say, was that 22? Thomas Myers, the junior defensive back, who might have broke that up at the last second. But there you go. Borland is a weapon in that passing game. Just a pretty good defense by Kimberly. Sets up this 3rd and long. Ball at the 45. 3rd and 10 officially.
Really nice to see Kimberly's defense being disciplined, Brett, not being fooled by the rollout, the players staying in position. Good play there.
Well, Ricardo, in your season previews, I know that while we've talked about Appleton North and its defense, and they got some key guys back, the same for Kimberly.
Yes.
And we knew that coming into this season, the Kimberly defense was going to be a strength as well.
Ethan Doucette, their linebacker, one of the very best in the state, as we have a flag and a false start. Is that?
Might be a delay.
Oh.
And it is a delay of game. So pre-snap penalty pushes the Lightning back 5 yards. 3rd and 15 now at the North 40-yard line. Look at this, little trickery.
Little
this is Hamas,
razzle-dazzle.
right? Nothing doing. Boy, Kimberly was not fooled at all. Hamas, of course, Jack Hamas played quarterback at Appleton West, right? The last couple seasons, I want to say. Transfer over to Appleton North, so you have that option, a couple quarterbacks there in the backfield. And just nothing there for Hamas in the back end, and that pocket collapsed pretty fast.
Yeah.
He had the line.
He didn't have any time, Brett. He was immediately pressured. And, again, the Kimberly defense is playing well. They're keeping their keys and being disciplined.
Lawton back to receive this, and we're going to push him back another 5 yards, Ricardo. Boy, you can't have this if you're Appleton North.
And
we're going to false start here.
It is a false start, so bring him back 5 more yards.
Illegal procedure against the Lightning.
So
fourth and 27, I think, right?
Moves the ball
Yeah.
back another 5 yards.
Fourth and 25.
4th and 25, right. Nice crowd here, Brett, and why wouldn't people come out here? It's a beautiful night.
Yeah, we were told they were expecting, late.
Yeah.
Late fair catch by Lawton, but he had it. Dangerous, Ricardo.
First down, paper makers.
Oh, you just got to always hold your breath a little bit there when you see that.
Told before the game they were expecting an overflow crowd, and I can see them standing along the fence line. I told the folks here, just go home and watch it on the stream.
Brett.
Huh? Go home and watch it on the stream. That's what you like, right? Friday nights, huge game, beautiful weather. You just can't beat it. This is fantastic entertainment. 2 of the top teams in Division I going at it. Teams that we feel, Ricardo, will be heard from later in the playoff rounds, right? As Myron hands off to Barry. There's a little seam right up the middle. Good gain on that run. Looks like about 7 yards. Barry, ball will be marked at the 46-yard line.
For the Lightning.
Barry with 4 carries and 14 yards. Brett, he has been one of the biggest playmakers so far in the area. The Fox Valley Association has shown a lot of great running backs. I guess the number one that comes to mind is our guy down there in Neenah, Jace Jenkins.
Oh, boy.
I'll be checking to see what the score of that Neenah Fond du Lac game is.
Neenah, very impressive to start the season. Yeah, physical, hard-nosed team, both sides of the footballs. Barry, I think he's got the first down. Looks like he's right at the marker.
Close to a first down.
Neenah is the real deal.
They are. I kind of looked at them as a dark horse to start the season.
You were all over them.
Well, I mean, as a dark horse, but they've even surprised me at how well they've been playing.
Looks like officials will stop the clock, bring the chains out. Again, folks, get in on that subscription deal. 1 year for just $9.99. That's unlimited digital access. That includes full access on your desktop, tablet, and mobile devices every day. The e-edition is part of that as well. And what are they going to say here? Boy, that looks... I don't know if you can get much closer. Is that like second down and a half an inch? I think they're trying to figure out if it is a first down. It's so close. It isn't. So second and about the shortest I've ever seen.
3rd and 1.
Or 3rd and 1, yeah, you're right. But full access on your desktop, tablet, mobile devices every day. The e-edition is also included. Postcrescent.com/subscribe. 1 year, $9.99. That'll take you throughout the entire high school sports season and then into next fall. How about that, Ricardo?
Brett Littleshoot leading New London 6-0.
Mustangs off
3-0.
How about the Northeastern Conference as a whole? I think
Really
they're all
doing well.
undefeated.
Yes, they're playing quite well.
And Myron hands off to Barry, who easily
Oh,
has the
boy.
first down and more on the far sideline. Finally brought down, but a big run by Barry, the biggest gain of the night either side.
Big yardage. Run out of bounds by number 35, Christian Pride.
Actually, they're going to mark it at the 31, pushed out of bounds at the North 31, 1st and 10. And we'll see, Ricardo, if this Kimberly running game now starts to get into a little bit of a rhythm. Those offensive linemen starting to get to work here a little bit. You see number 81 as one of the lead blockers, the fullback tight end, Sam Miller, 6'2", 217 pounds, big part of that run game, and about 2-3 yards there on that run by Gavin Tyson, the first time we've called his name tonight.
Center of the Lightning defense.
Number 24, junior running back, ball at the 29, 2nd and 2.
2nd and 8.
Or 2nd and 8, check that, 2-yard pickup. Ricardo, they just keep finding running backs, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
And they always have a good combo.
7-0 Hortonville over Appleton West.
Barry again looking for some stuff up the middle, still spinning his way out. And finally brought down.
Spinning his way inside the 20
Down to the 18-yard line. I thought he was a tackle from
20, Carson Brooks.
celebrating in the end zone. Hey, waiting for that whistle, right? You didn't hear the whistle? You don't
That's
give
right.
up on
Keep
the play.
going. Keep going.
So 1st and 10 at the 18.
7 carries up to 47 yards now for Blake Berry.
Isaac Deckent, number 40, also fullback tight end combo as a lead guy. And boy, Barry finding a little hole, and
Barry over the right
that
side,
running game starting to get to
inside
work.
the 15.
Down to the 15-yard line.
Ben Isom on the tackle for the Lightning. That is the end of the first
And that run
quarter
by Blake Berry will be the final play of the first quarter. 3-0 the Papermakers lead as we look at our Cellcom Coonies Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. Hey, we'll be back at it Friday night. I just don't know where we're going to be. That's one of those. I had those two open dates on the schedule. Give ourselves an opportunity to see how the season is starting to shake out a little bit. So I'll make an announcement early next week, if not sooner, on my Twitter account. So give me a follow at PCBrettC. We're going to have a lot of good options. But again, I'll make that announcement on my Twitter account at PCBrettC. You can follow Ricardo at Ricardo DeLeon, DELIAN, for
Thank
that
you.
Twitter account. And Jim Rosandick is at Metal Rosie, METALROSE. Remember, you can access our previous Game of the Week live streams on our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. Just go to the sports section and scroll down until you see the Watch Our Varsity Game of the Week Prep live streams link. I might have to ask you and Mike Sherry for an assist on where we're going to be next week for Week 5 already.
Brett, Bayport and is it Pulaski?
Yeah.
They're 0-0 after one quarter of play.
Interesting,
Thought that
okay.
would be a close game between those two
Yeah,
FRCC North contenders.
kind of looking like those two in West Appear, right, are the class of the FRCC North. We already saw Bayport earlier this season look pretty good against Notre Dame. As now Myron on the run and caught. Trying to get in was number 8. That's Garbish again. And a good throw, Myron's best throw of the night on the run, getting out of the pocket.
Inside the 5 down to the 4-yard line.
And they'll mark the Papermakers at the 4, first and goal.
Papermakers.
That was a dart.
Jackson, spelled Jaxson.
Looks like the Papermakers timeout here after that conversion. I believe that's Chad Michaelwitz, the new head coach,
They're first. They have 2 remaining.
out there talking to the guys, setting up this first and goal play, Ricardo?
I was talking to Michael Woods. He was talking about how his this is the Kimberly that folks know. He hasn't really changed anything up offensively. 90% of what you see is what was run in the past. That comes from the collection of assistant coaches, the majority of which stayed under him that were a carryover from the Steve Jones era.
Key, right? Continuity.
Yes.
And what is the old saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Absolutely.
Just come on in, add a little wrinkle or two, right? But kind of keep doing what you're doing, and so far so good for the 3-0 and second-ranked Kimberly Papermakers. Knocking at the door here, looking for the first touchdown of the night. First and goal at the 4 for Kimberly out of this timeout. That's Barry with it, and is he in?
It's at the 1.
Just shy of the goal line. Myron thinks he's in. Might be officially inside the 1. Yeah, inside the 1. About a half yard to go for the Papermakers. Second and goal to go. Officially a 1-yard potential touchdown coming up.
Yeah, 9 carries, 53 yards I have for Blake Berry, Brett.
Hey, we got a Nina Fondy score. Rockets up 14-7 after 1.
That's a big game. If they can knock off Fonda like Brett.
Yeah.
That's a big win.
Second down for the Papermakers. Nothing fancy there.
Oh, yeah.
And Blake Berry in for the 1-yard score. First touchdown of the night goes to the Papermakers. 1-yard score by Berry.
Number 32 will attempt the extra point.
Hunter Berry in for the PAT. And Berry bangs it through. With 10:50 remaining here in the second quarter, we're at Paulingen Field. The 1-yard touchdown run. The PAT is good. 10-0 Papermakers with the lead as we look at our Cellcom Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard.
Updating my Twitter, you can follow me at Ricardo DeLeon. Again, DeLeon, D-E-L-I-A-N. And then Brett at PC Brett. See Rosie at Metal Rosie. And Rosie, take a look at that moon over there.
Yeah.
You get a camera on there. You see that in the distance there?
Isn't it that color because of the wildfires?
Is that what it
out
is?
West? I think it was supposed to be kind of give us some fantastic sunsets and moon rises.
I thought it would. That looks more like we're on We're
on Tatooine.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it feels like one of the suns on Tatooine.
Most people watching have no idea what Tatooine is.
Yes, they do. Everyone's Star Wars nerds.
The only Star Wars movies that matter are the first 3.
There we go.
Nothing else matters.
Easy there, grumpy old man.
Hey, I still have the Millennium Falcon in my basement. Now I don't play with it anymore.
The Lego set or the old
No,
school?
the actual. I got it like in 1980.
Hey,
for
if
birthday.
I were you, don't lose it. That's worth
well,
money.
it's pretty beat up.
Well, people can refurbish it.
Can they?
Yeah.
I could turn around and sell that?
I think you can.
Well, I might have to look into that.
I'll take 10% of the cut.
I even have
for letting you know.
I even have the box. Uh-oh, fumble on the kickoff again. And watch out! Watch out! Wow, good recovery by Jack Robinson.
Talk about making something out of nothing, Brett.
Yeah, ball was kind of bouncing on that turf a little bit, but Robinson scoops it up and just about breaks that one for the score. So good field position for Appleton North. They need good field position, down 2 scores.
Well, they need a break, and so far I think they've been playing well enough. It's just Kimberly right now got the early break with that fumble recovery to start the game. Now maybe this is something that'll spark the lightning offense.
Got 3 receivers here near side, trying to spread things out. Let's see what the play call is for Kreitzer. High snap. He's going to roll to his strong side. The lefty slings it, and just too high. Just too high on that throw. Luke Kreitzer, a 5'11", 180-pound junior quarterback, taking over for Matthew Scheckelman. We kind of mentioned this during last week's stream, some of these guys, where they're at. Scheckelman He was the FVA's offensive player of the year last year. Fantastic Lightning quarterback now at Northern Iowa. So, Matthew, if you're watching, good luck to you. We mentioned Cal Martini at Eastern Illinois. Good luck to you, Cal, with the Redbirds. I have a feeling there'll be quite a few graduates watching this tonight. Kreitzer too high again. And Ricardo's a little off target right now. That was to intended receiver was Hammis. 3rd and 10 coming up.
Quickly 3rd and 10, 2 incompletions. And I don't think North doesn't have to get away from its run game. I think the run game has been somewhat consistent for the Lightning. And now you're facing a 3rd and long against a Kimberly defense that seemingly has had all the answers thus far when it comes to the passing game.
Yeah,
right?
we'll see if Kimberly maybe wants to send a blitz or two here on a what should be a pretty obvious passing down 3rd and 10. Wes King, we mentioned him last year. Remember, the two-way lineman, the FVA's defensive lineman of the year, co-defensive player of the year. He's at Wyoming. He's a Cowboy. Is that Borland trying? Boy, Kimberly right now not fooled by anything that North is doing.
Was that a run?
Little shovel pass to Borland.
Okay.
And a yard at best. So how about a 3 and out, despite pretty good field position for Appleton North. Ty Lawton back to receive this punt.
Sorry, Brett. 10-0 lead for FVL over Xavier in the Apple Bowl. That's our buddy Dan Cohn updating us.
Boy, Xavier, if they lose 1 and 3 to start the season, and just about got taken down by Denmark in week 1. So long way to go in the Apple Bowl. That's always a good rivalry game as well. Ooh, low snap. And watch out. Good punt. And fair catch. Nope. Lawton gets away from that, and looks like they'll down that at the 8-yard line, so a long way to go. Good punt by the Lightning.
Well, this is an opportunity for the Lightning defense to kind of hold firm and then get the ball back with pretty good field position for the Lightning offense if they're able to slow down that Kimberly offense, which looked pretty good in that last drive, Brett.
Yeah, the run game kind of getting things going. Will Schrader, I wanted to mention him too, former Lightning offensive lineman, FVA's offensive lineman of the year last season, playing unfortunately at UW Whitewater. He'd look better in the purple and gold of Stevens Point.
No one wants to play for Stevens Point.
Hey, brand new coach. It's a new regime. Friend of the Varsity Roundtable, Will Schrader.
That's true.
Not much there for Blake Berry.
I didn't even know Point still had a football.
Easy. My beloved Pointers are struggling a bit. 17-7 now, Nina, over Fond du Lac.
That's a pickup of 1 on the play.
Real deal, aren't they? If they can beat Fond du Lac, and Fond du Lac was thought of very highly going into the season.
Well, I've been voting Nina in the top 10.
As you should.
And Fond du Lac as well, actually. They might have been lower, and as with Appleton North. I gave FBA teams the love, Brett, in the Associated Press poll.
Berry again, and
he almost scored it through there, though.
Yeah, number 66 for Appleton North. Cal Hansen, one of the members of the leadership committee, 5'11", 245-pound senior defensive lineman, not letting Berry go. This is a big play. Boy, if you're Appleton North, get off the field here and regain good field position. 3rd and 5, ball at the 13-yard line.
I mean, that's a big old defensive line there, too.
It is.
For Appleton North, led by big old Harry Grutzka. Owen Ornstein's in there. Yeah, 310 and 246 pounds, respectively.
Yeah, 99 Grutzka. He is tough to move around. Good pocket for Myron, and there you go. 3 and out. Intended receiver. There was number 8, Jackson Garbish. So good job by that Lightning defense.
Well, this is exactly what the doctor ordered for Appleton North. Now, what can you do with this, Brett?
Well, look at where they're setting up to return this punt. They're going to be in Kimberly territory. And I think that's Brock Salm, the return man, very dangerous. Boy, what a big interception he had last week.
He's a big play guy for Appleton North, one of our Elite 11, right, Rosie?
That's right. Brock Salm is deep.
And they don't want anything to do with it. And that won't sail. Now, here you go. I forget what this is called.
Triangulation?
Triangulation. And where they're going to finally mark this.
Right at the 30. Brett, listen. I hate putting coaches on the spot, but they got to make something out of this. Appleton North. You have it at your own 30. You're 10 yards away from the red zone. You got to get it in there. You know, Kimberly doesn't afford you many opportunities that are this nice for your offense.
We'll see what Kreitzer has cooking. That's a handoff to Robinson. Look at that. Was that number 22 for the Papermakers? Just right there waiting on the edge. That was Thomas Myers, the junior defensive back, coming on in.
Thomas Myers on the stop. That's a gain of close to
Both
4.
defenses, Ricardo, really just sound, right?
Bring up second and
Playing
long
their
6.
gaps, holding the edges,
It's fun to watch.
reading their keys, like you said
Yeah,
before.
when you've seen defenses here, these are pretty decent offenses, Brett, and they're shutting each other respectively down, in my opinion.
Kreitzer, he's going to keep it. Looking for some space. Almost wrestles his way out, but finally brought down by number 4, Ethan Doucette, the senior linebacker.
Number 4, Ethan Doucette on the tackle. Third down, and we'll call it 4.
Thanks to Steve Seidel. Says, greetings from rainy Southern California. As always, you guys are doing a great job, and thanks for bringing us this huge battle with two of the top teams in the state of Wisconsin. Go Makers. Did I mention it was raining? Oh, yeah, and there are 3 fires. Go figure.
Whoa, they need that then.
They need the rain, Steve. And, oh, wow,
Nowhere
what a
to go.
defensive play there on Robinson. Was that Doucette again, number 4, getting in there?
Yeah, he just
Senior linebacker,
He
one of
just-
your Elite 11.
he blitzed right past his blocker, Brett. And that's a loss all the way back to the 20. That's a loss of 3.
And is this a punting situation?
It was 4th and 7. I don't know if it's a punting situation, though, Brett.
We'll see what Appleton North is going to do here. Or is this going to be a long field goal? So this is going to be a 44-yard attempt.
Pop is a talented athlete.
He's got a big leg, doesn't he? I thought at first they were thinking pooch punt, but yeah, when you got a leg like Caden Pop.
Oh, he has enough leg.
And he got it. No.
Just right.
I
White.
think everybody in front of us, too, thought that went through the uprights. It must have sailed just right, Ricardo. But he had the leg for
He
44
definitely did.
yards.
Well, at the very least, you find out, well, you know that Pop can actually make those kind of field goals, Brett, just inches away from being converted.
So there's a win for the Kimberly defense. Both defenses playing well. Hey, Steve, thanks for watching. We appreciate you. And not to rub it into you, but, boy, it's a gorgeous night in northeast Wisconsin, isn't it, guys?
No rain today.
Sun, mid-80s. Summertime, sticking around. I took a quick little trip up to Door County this week. It's a 2-dayer. Oh, my goodness, the weather. The only thing that was bad up there were the bees. Otherwise, it was just beautiful blue skies, beautiful blue water, not much wind. Took a 40-mile bike ride. Gotta love it.
Enjoying the last bit
No.
of summer.
I'll take that all the way into November. Is Blake Berry now?
Berry over the right side.
Maybe 2-3 yards. 2nd and 6. They'll mark it actually 4-yard gain. Ball at the 24-yard line. See an Appleton North fan in front of us trying to get the crowd fired up.
Gain of 4 on the play. 2nd and 6.
Blake Berry, 63 yards on 13 carries, Brett.
For the most part, though, Ricardo, tough yards. I think he had that
Grinding yards. He had the one where he popped for like 19 or 20 yards.
Berry again looking for something up the gut. That's a first down run. Good hard tackle, though, by number 52, Ben Isom, the senior linebacker. Part of that talented linebacker core.
1st and 10 Papermakers, ball at the 32.
But it is a first down, ball at the 32-yard line. About an 8-yard gain.
That's what I have him down for. So that average per rush going up a little bit each time for Blake Berry.
Ricardo, key situation right now. You look at the clock continuing to run. About 5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. If Kimberly can keep it, possess it, and put some points on the board, they start the second half then with the football as well.
They do.
So a chance to double up as Berry, watch out, he's got first down and more. Finally brought down near midfield.
Berry, or Brett, Berry almost ran into the referee. The official had to get out of the way.
Hey, that's fair game, right? If he's in the way, you push him out of the way. What would Ken, the official, think about that?
I don't know. I would hope he's watching tonight. I would have liked to have heard from him. Hey, 24-14, Nina now over Fondy, Brett.
Kimberly from midfield.
Thank you to our buddy John Yoke over there at Nina, giving us those updates.
Well, one of the strengths of that Fond du Lac team, a lot of skill position weapons, some speed, quarterback, wide receiver. I think they have the leading wide receiver in the conference in Wagner Lang. Is that
Well,
Tyson?
they have the top passer in terms of yards on Steven Schreider, their quarterback.
Carson Bush.
Yeah, so
tackle.
tough game for the Rockets and the Cardinals.
Brett, this is a nice drive for Kimberly thus far. Gains of 4 yards, 8 yards, 18. Those were by Barry. Then a nice 5-yard gain here.
And no rush, too, as
by Tyson, yeah.
Clock continues to run, under 4 minutes to go. Kimberly with those 2 timeouts still. Barry looking for some yards. Big space. Big stiff arm, too. And I think that's Mullen finally wrapping him up. I think it looks like he might be about a half-yard shy of that first down.
Just short of a first down. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 1. Ball at the 41.
Be sure to stick with us through halftime. We got a lot to get to. We've got a big announcement as far as our Clubhouse Live show coming up Monday night. Just got word that there's a pretty cool giveaway coming up Monday night.
Nice.
Along with 2 fantastic guests. We'll be celebrating a big Packers victory over the Vikings, much to Ricardo's chagrin.
I picked them to win.
Blake Berry looking for the first down. He's got it. And that'll stop the clock to reset the chains. Looks like they'll mark it at the 39-yard line. 2:55 to go. Again, Kimberly with those 2 timeouts remaining. So Chad Michaelwitz will save those, I would imagine.
Brett, I picked the Packers to be 1-1 to start the season, so they're beating the Vikings this week.
And losing to the Bears on Sunday Night Football?
That's what you heard from me.
Don't think so. What will be interesting in that Packer game is who's playing.
Yeah.
Will David Bakhtiari play?
Is Mr. Lazard out?
It looks like Lazard's out with that ankle injury. Guessing they're going to hold off on Bakhtiari as well. But maybe Elton Jenkins, maybe Robert Tunyon. Tyson now plunging his way forward. And
Gavin Tyson over the right
I would
side.
think, Ricardo, pretty soon you're going to want to see some urgency. And when are you going to let Myron kind of air it out?
Well, I think they still got time, though, Brett. Right now they're doing a great job of controlling the line of scrimmage. Consistent, if not unspectacular, yardage by your ground game, Brett. They're doing it in a grinded-out mode, 2nd down and 7 from the 36, but I don't think they need to air it just to air it out.
Well, drive started at the 20-yard line, correct, after the missed field goal. So, yeah, nice long drive, and Kimberly going to try to run out the clock here in the first half. Already up 2 scores, 10-0, as Myron going to fire it over to number 8. I think that's Garbish, the senior wide receiver. So first down, good pitch and catch between the quarterback and his wideout. Clock stops to set the chains, and ball will be at the 26-yard line. Now they'll wind up the clock again.
Good mix. You just mentioned it, Bredman. When are they going to air it out? And they just completed a pass for 10 yards. Loosen up that Kimberly or that Appleton North defense a little bit. 2 receivers near side here.
See if they let Myron air it out again, and we're going to get a little false start pre-snap stuff, and that'll mark it back 5 yards. So that's where Chad Michaelwitz probably is like, ugh.
Well, you don't see that usually from Kimberly, Brett. But maybe this is the little spark that Appleton North's defense needs. First down and 15 situation now for Kimberly.
Michaelwitz, of course, 11 seasons previously at De Pere, 62-43 record with the Redbirds. Replacing Steve Jones. And big shoes to fill without a doubt. Steve Jones, of course, retiring from education, right, to pursue a career in leadership, motivational speaking, writing, that sort of thing, as Barry trying to wrestle his way, and boy, a whole bunch of Appleton North defenders there. I would think that Kimberly might want to burn a timeout here, and
Number 53,
I think that's what
first one there.
We've got. So a timeout, Papermakers, that's their second one of the half. One remaining. Yeah, Steve Jones, boy, what a resume. 5 state championships, 10 conference titles, a state record 70-game winning streak, overall coaching record of 129-9. You can see why he is in high demand for success and all that good stuff. And by the way, Ricardo, I don't know, he's working with the Packers right now. Matt LaFleur and those guys.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Brett Franklin leading Racine Park 28-0. Just for those of you who follow Division I, that's one of the defending state champs.
The Sabres, they took down Fond du Lac pretty handily.
They did.
Week 1, I want to say. So second down and what about 14? Ball at the 30-yard line.
Brett Littleshoot up over New London now 14-0. Looks like they recovered a fumble in the end zone.
Mustangs looking to start the season.
And I talked to Coach
4-0.
Evers. I'm like, Coach, you got to get me your stats, buddy. And he said he would, so hopefully we'll have a little more information on them.
You know the folks in Littleshoot getting a little ornery with you,
A little
Ricardo.
bit, probably. Hey, 20-0 lead for Hortonville now for Appleton West. Appleton West had that great first game, Brett. Now they've really been struggling the last few
Well,
weeks.
you know, coaching change, new
Oh,
program,
boy.
pump fake. And what a grab along the near sideline with good coverage. Mullen was the defender, but that's number 10, Ethan Kreider, the senior. First time we're calling his name tonight. Myron to Kreider has been a great hookup. And you saw a beautiful ball and a fantastic catch against coverage.
I'll say this. It was a good route. If you're Myron, you had him wide open. It was a little underthrown, in my opinion. If you would have put a little more air under that, that could have been a score.
Well, a little pump fake, though, and heck of a leaping grab. First and goal at the 7-yard line. Inside the 5. Boy, the refs are going to let them play, let that scrum push its way forward, and the Papermakers, they're going to save that last time out as the clock now under a minute down to about 50 seconds.
Brett, that's the 19th carry for Blake Berry already. He has 99 yards.
Ball will be officially at the 4-yard line. Boy, this is a tailor-made drive to finish this half. As I mentioned before, it's a perfect ending potentially for the Papermakers if they can put one more on the board and then again open the half with the football. There's Berry again, and that pile, it's going to be at the 1, and I think you're going to have to burn a timeout if you're Kimberly with 3rd and goal coming up.
Timeout, Kimberly, their final timeout.
Now what he did, it's an interesting call, Ricardo. Now, no timeouts remaining. The ball's going to be at the 1, 3rd and goal, but a 1 yard is tough to gain against this Appleton North defense. You're stopped on a run, the clock's going to run down. So do you throw the ball here, or do you just stick with your running game and think we can get 1 yard?
If you're telling me Ricardo Arguello, offensive coordinator, I'm running the football. I'm old school in that way, Brett. No fancy schmancy. Just get your big hogs up at the front, let them do their work. Right, Rosie? Got to let them eat, as they say. Got to let them eat.
31-14. Boy, look at Nina just putting it up. 4:04 left still in the second quarter, and the Rockets already have 31 points against Fond du Lac.
Brett, they're shocking everybody. And that's good to see. You know, Coach Young, he's a good guy.
Well, they have Steve Jorgensen now on
Steve
staff.
Jorgensen
right?
on staff. And
legendary coach. I know that
a team that has playmakers at receivers. It's just right now, Van Evenhoven is developing. If he can be what they expect him to be, Brett, at the end of the season, that is going to be an offense that's going to be very difficult to stop through the ground because of Jenkins and through the air because of Van Evenhoven and those receivers.
Yeah. I know they've talked up their strength and conditioning program quite a bit, too. Actually, Ricardo, as we get back to this, off the timeout, 3rd and goal from the 2.
From the 2, all right.
From the 2-yard line, Papermakers, little play action. Myron throws it away.
Yeah, good. That's a good job by Myron, actually, Brett. You know, sometimes you want to throw it into coverage when you're getting pressured like that, but no, he did the safe thing, threw it out of bounds. Now it's 4th down and goal.
What do you do now? Do you go for it here on 4th and goal? Do you send your kicking team? I think they're going to keep that offense out.
Well, I see Myron. Is he
Myron's
coming for the play?
off.
Wait, is he coming for the play? He is coming off.
Interesting, okay. I think you had to on 3rd and goal at the 2. I think you had to throw it because of everything's so compact, so tight. Clock would have run out.
Looks like, are they running with a direct snap?
Yeah,
here?
they are. Is that going to be Blake Berry on the direct snap? 4th and goal at the 2. Berry's calling for it. Berry, look in, trying to get into the end zone. Is he in? Waiting for the call.
Yep.
And he gets in with 9 seconds to play. A 2-yard score by Berry on the direct snap. And there you go, Ricardo, saying enough's enough, right? Run the ball.
Absolutely. That, when you have a ground game like that and then a back like that, just run it.
Well, it wasn't easy, though. That was tough running by Blake Berry. He didn't get in by a lot. And Hunter Berry, no relation, in for the PAT. And he knocks that one through again. And with 9 seconds remaining here in this opening half, 2-yard touchdown run by Blake Berry, his second score of the game. PAT is good as we look at our Cellcom Cooney's Embroidery Sportswear scoreboard. Papermakers now up 17-0.
It doesn't seem like 17-0 though, Brett, just because how close the game has been in terms of what we've seen on the field. But give credit to Kimberly's offense. They are grinding out those drives, Brett. And that last scoring drive started at the 20. Let me count out the plays here.
I was going to ask you how many.
I gotta take off the socks, Brett. I gotta count on my toes here.
You got a calculator with your iPhone now.
14 plays, 80 yards. And that started with 6:10 left in the first half.
Huge drive for Kimberly to just take all that time off the clock. Again, opening the second half with the ball. Kind of demoralizing if you're Appleton North.
Speaking of 17-0, that's the exact score of the Apple Bowl. FEL leading Xavier 17-0. Jack Engen, FEL running back, 12 carries, 95 yards, including a 59-yard touchdown run. The ground game for the Foxes, Breck, is all we've heard about Liam Pages, the great quarterback for FEL, but no, they're doing it on the ground too.
Dangerous team, under the radar team, kind of like Little Shoot, right? Surprise teams at 4-0 maybe, would you say, potentially? Yeah. Kimberly going to let that one bounce. And Mullen finally wrestled down with 4.4 seconds actually exactly remaining. Hey, we got a tweet from Jeremy Klussman, our friend, listening to you tonight, coming through loud and clear. Great job, gentlemen. Also, Jeremy wants to wish a happy birthday to Chris Burns. Hoping to see you at Clubhouse Live. Thanks, Jeremy. Hoping to see you as well. Maybe Monday night when you hear the big giveaway we have coming up.
Is the quarterback for the Lightning.
Hamas now quarterbacking Appleton North on this play, Brett. First down and 10 at the 35.
He's going to keep it. Oh, boy. Number 34 for the Papermakers, Connor Schiesel, the senior linebacker. And that's how the first half comes to an end. Very impressive first half for the Kimberly Papermakers. It's halftime here at Paul Engen Field. Teams clearing the field. Quick look at our Cellcom and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard shows the Papermakers leading the Lightning 17-0. We'll talk more about tonight's game, what we have coming up digitally. We have a busy week coming up, guys, at USA Today Network Wisconsin after this short break.
top of the 222 building on College Avenue in downtown Appleton. It's Varsity Roundtable. Ladies and gentlemen, Ricardo Arguello.
Let's try this again. Your 2022
Live from a secret location somewhere in northeast Wisconsin, it's Clubhouse Live. We'll look back on how the Packers fared, we'll talk football, we'll take a peek at what's next on the schedule, and we'll have our usual fun too. We're ready. Are you ready? It's time to get started. Let's open the doors and welcome to
Welcome back to Paul Engen Field. We're at Appleton North High School. Big Week 4 matchup here in the Fox Valley Association. The second-ranked Papermakers on top of the 10th-ranked Lightning. You can see it right there on our Cellcom Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear scoreboard. 17-0 is the Kimberly lead. Once again, thank you to our sponsors. Cellcom fall into savings this month at Cellcom with up to $500 in savings when you activate a new smartphone line and trade in your existing device. Visit cellcom.com/save for details. And Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. They have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your organization. Contact them today. 920-731-0922. That's the phone number. The email address, Cooney's, COONEYS 0922 at sbcglobal.net. Also, guys, I got to plug our USA Today Sports Plus app. That is the new sports app that puts the fans first. Get the latest scores, stats, and standings, and enjoy interactive experiences with our award-winning sports writers. Download USA Today Sports Plus from the Apple or Google Play stores today. USA Today Sports Plus, fan harder. Ricardo, you look like you have something to say.
Oh, no, I just have, halftime scores are kind of rolling here. Hey, Appleton East leading Oshkosh West 10-0, Brett.
Patriots looking for win
Roman
number 2.
Acker, yeah. Let me see if I can. Oh, Little Shoot at the half, Brett, 14-0 over New London.
Okay.
Again, I'm gonna have to do something on. I'm gonna have to go over to Little Shoot and talk to Ted.
Hey, check
They're
out.
gonna be 4-0. That's, to me, the NEC is a tough league, but they're staying right there in it, Brett.
Check out the new turf field.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely. See if we can get some other games. I mean, again, if you have anything to tweet us, please do.
Bayport Pulaski's a big one out there, and even some of them are the outliers at Ricardo. We got Amherst and Wittenberg Burnhamwood. That's an interesting one in the central Wisconsin region. Cedar Grove, Belgium, and Reedsville. The Panthers off to a great start at 3-0. Ashwaubenon and West Appear. Ashwaubenon's got some things working in the passing game.
Bayport up 14-0 over Pulaski at the half.
Okay, so Pirates, that was one. Of course, you mentioned Xavier and FVL. Oostburg and Ozaki is a good one. Mayville and Winnebago Lutheran,
That's a
3-0
big
teams.
one in the Flyway Conference.
Yeah,
Brett.
out there in the Fond du Lac area. And DC Everson, Marshfield, the Evergreens 2-1, Tigers 1-2, and the Valley Football Association.
Franklin up 35-0 over Racine Park. Yeah, let's see if we can find some of these scores. DC Everest.
Well, while you're doing that, Ricardo, I kind of have been teasing about what's coming up
Yes.
on Clubhouse Live Monday night. All right, we just kicked off season number 14 this past Monday. That's Clubhouse Live, our weekly Green Bay Packers show. Takes place live at the Clubhouse Kitchen and Bar now, okay? It's the Clubhouse Kitchen and Bar inside the Hilton Appleton Paper Valley Hotel. I can't keep up with the name changes anymore. But Monday night, 6:30, free admission, first come, first seated. It's a live show, and we had Amon Green, Green Bay Packers' great franchise career rushing leader in the Packers Hall of Fame. He got us all fired up, jacked up, ready to go for the Week 1 games. Packers-Vikings Week 1 on Sunday, of course. Everybody's looking forward to that.
He's my favorite guest. Him and Johnny Gray.
He's good.
Those two
yeah,
guys
Johnny,
are great.
both of them are fantastic. Actually, the NFL season got off last night. Bill's looking really good. Josh Allen and the Rams, I think 3 touchdown passes. Burning Jalen Ramsey on one of them, didn't he?
Oh, Jalen Ramsey had a tough. Did you see that? He had a perfect rating against him in terms of.
Yeah.
That's not what you want. And when you're a corner, you don't want a perfect pass rating.
Didn't Ramsey kind of call Josh Allen like not a real good pick when it happened?
Yeah, when he first.
Yeah,
kind of demeaning where he came from, Wyoming.
And Josh Allen, pretty darn good quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a cannon for an arm. He's one of those good young quarterbacks along with Herbert at the Chargers. Anyway, Amon Green got us going. So this week, our regular season co-hosts begin, and I say that plural. We're going to have Packers All-Pro linebacker Devondre Campbell and Packers wide receiver Amari Rodgers. They're going to join us together on Monday night as we celebrate a big Packers victory over the Vikings. And then after this week, they're each going to take their turns. Like next week, Amari Rodgers will be the co-host, and I think Devondre for 2 weeks. And they'll bring teammate guests throughout the season. We'll have some signed giveaways, other cool items to give away. It's a very fan-friendly, engaging show. And here is the big giveaway. I have been told that we have Packers-Bears tickets to give away for the Sunday Nighter at Lambeau Field September 18th. You must be present to register and win those tickets. So stop by the clubhouse Monday night and get your name in the old bucket for those Packers-Bears tickets. Maybe we can coerce Devondre and Amari to stick around and draw the winning
That'd be good.
entry.
Leave me out of it then, and you.
That's a great giveaway.
Yeah,
Packers-Bears tickets at Lambeau Field Sunday Night Football. So be there. If you can't make it, though, you can always watch the show live online. Any of our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. That does include clubhouselive.com, facebook.com/Packers News, any of our Facebook pages, and give us a like, facebook.com/clubhouselive. Clubhouse Live, I should say. All show information is posted there, along with my Twitter account at PCBretzi. We'll stream the show on our USA Today Network Wisconsin YouTube channel as well. But come on, Packers-Bears tickets we're giving away Monday night. Be there, along with Devondre Campbell and Amari Rodgers.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you saying okay you're going to be there? Because you have to be there.
Yeah.
That's not all. Next week is we're launching the season premiere of Varsity Roundtable as well.
Thank you for that segue, Brett. I've been on the horn with Nate Leiterman, the Kimberly girls volleyball coach. They're going to be our guests this week, talking to Macy Herman, Katie Scholes, maybe Kyla Dunaway, who's lost for the season, but we want to feature her as well.
What happened?
I think she had a shoulder issue before the game. Big 6'4".
Yeah.
That's so tough. But we're planning on having that. And not only that, the following week, and I've been talking to Rachel Koss from Freedom Girls Volleyball, we want to have a combo show. We want to have Freedom Girls Volleyball, which right now is in the lead in the NEC. We know how good the NEC is with the 3-time state champion Luxembourg Casco in there, and Fox Valley Lutheran as well. With a combo show with the football team.
There we go.
Only maybe have Carter Krewalt and Turner Brockman, along with the entire girls volleyball team. So just looking to showcase Freedom a little bit, have some fun. That's the big thing, Brett. Our show this year, we talked with Rosie, we talked with you. We want to have more fun, more of a live setting with a big audience, relatively speaking, what we can get up in the 10th floor of the Post Crescent building, Brett. But want to make it more lively, more fun, and some place that the kids want to be every Wednesday night.
Haven't been able to really do it since 2019,
yeah.
or at least we did it for part of the 2020 season. So it's kind of good to get back at doing that kind of stuff. And then we're going to have the R&B Show podcast.
R&B Show podcast. And as well, Brett.
We got a lot going on now.
We have a lot going on.
The grind really begins.
It begins, and we just released the terrific 10 girls volleyball team this week. We had several members of both Kimberly and Appleton North on there. A lot of stuff to showcase. Rosie did a great job on that, so please check us out. postcrescent.com/sport or /varsity, I think it might be. Either way, just look on the Post Crescent page, go into the Varsity tab. You'll see that as well as the Elite 11 football team, which we released a few weeks ago. Brett, lots of good stuff coming down the docket, as always. And then tomorrow, online, you'll read my Appleton city-centric recap of how our 5 schools in the city did, North, East, West, as well as Fox Valley Lutheran and Xavier. And then a separate takeaways column on Around the Valley. And so I'm going to have 2 things out there ready for everyone to read tomorrow, 9 a.m.-ish. So please check that out.
So, kind of filling the folks on how that all came about. This is new this year, where you're profiling all the Appleton schools in one story, and the surrounding suburban teams, if you will, in the other. Like, I'm just kind of curious on how.
We like to think of ourselves as USA Today Network Wisconsin, but the Post-Christopherson is based in Appleton.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have it where our city residents can just go right to a recap and read about the city schools, and I have to worry about. But I was not taking any love away from our area schools. That's why I split up, separate but equal, Brett.
There you go. I like it. And based on the metrics, they're doing well.
They are doing well, and I think
so it was a good move.
And it's a thing that I like to do. I'm really dependent on the coaches, to call me or to leave some comments and stuff after the game. But it's been a big hit so far.
And by the way, is that subscriber-only content?
It is subscriber-only.
Now listen,
content.
folks, you can only access that content, meaning you can get comments from the players, the coaches, that sort of thing. You can only get it if you're a subscriber to the Post-Crescent and any of our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. The deal right now, 1 year, is just $9.99. That covers you for an entire year of not only great high school sports coverage, but Packers coverage, news, business, entertainment.
Our buzz, I challenge anyone. First off, I think our prep stuff's better than anybody around. But the buzz, which looks at local businesses in the Valley, I challenge anyone to be as up-to-date and timely as we are in that. That's a big bonus for us.
That's a very popular piece of content that rolls out regardless of who's writing it seems like. So, but 1 year for $9.99, Ricardo, you're set for 12 months.
Yeah, less than $1 a month.
$9.99. Why would you not get in on that? Go to postcrescent.com/subscribe so you can read all of Ricardo's good stuff, Mike Sherry's good stuff, Dan Cohn. Our live streams now.
And that gets you the whole Valley. So if you want to know about something about the Northwestern area teams, you can log on to the Northwestern.
And if you're a high school sports fan, that takes you all the way into week 4, week 5 of the high school season next fall. So you're all set. So just get on that, please. We appreciate your support. And then, next week, Friday, week 5, we'll be somewhere. Maybe send me a tweet at PC Bretzi. Where would you like to see the stream team go?
I like this. We have a little flexibility in where we're going to go.
I want to lock in as many dates as I can, but I like to keep a couple of them open, including like the last week, just to see really what could be the biggest games. It could be conference championships.
May I suggest Amro?
Well, you can suggest whatever you want.
No, Amro's struggling a little bit this year.
There's some good games. There's Appleton North Nina as a potential. Little Chute, Luxembourg, Casco is one that's kind of on my. They both could be 4-0 going in that game.
Chute?
That's at Little Chute.
Okay.
I've got Little Chute and Freedom in Week 7 in the battle for the county ensign. There could be a conference title implications going on, but we need to give the Northeastern Conference some love here pretty soon.
I would not hold anything against your Brett if you decided to showcase Little Chute. They're out to an outstanding year. They're one of my surprise teams. I would love to do a feature on them, so maybe that would be a nice little tie-in.
Yeah, and it's actually they play for the LC Trophy. So
the LC Trophy.
A couple trophy games coming up for the Mustangs. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out.
As long as we get to Little Chute and you maybe have a hot dog ready for me.
No.
With mustard.
Check out
and relish.
Unison Credit Union Stadium at Fitzpatrick Field now with the field turf. We'll see. Just give me a tweet at PC Bretzi. Where should the stream team go in week number 5? Good halftime here at Paul Engen Field. We've got to thank Dwayne Harkoff, the athletic director here at Appleton North High School, as they, of course, always put 3 more minutes on the scoreboard. Why is not 15 minutes enough, guys? It's getting me crabby. But the athletic director doing a great job here now in his second year and getting us. That's a tough job, is to try to put the puzzle together is when you got all these media requests. So we appreciate Dwayne for letting us sit up here and really have a great view of the field. Also, Brian Durkee, the Appleton School District IT staff, for
it's gone off without a hit.
Knock on wood now, but we
appreciate
all the work that he and his staff have done for us over the years as well. John Yoke, 31-14. Nina with a halftime lead over Fond du Lac. Ricardo Rockets, I think they're on their way to a 4-0 start in that. I mean, you got 31 halftime points already.
This is so fun to watch. Teams kind of surprised everyone. I talked about Little Chute. They're one of the teams as well. Nina, even though I felt they were a playoff team.
FEL is up there.
FEL is up there. Hey, Clintonville, after today, could be 3-1. The Truckers
beat Amherst in week 1.
Cade Van Asten. No. Cade Rosenau. Cade Van Assens for Little Shoot, right? Is that who I'm thinking of?
Yeah, he's graduated now. Yeah.
I get my Cades mixed up. Hey, Brett, Wittenberg-Burnhamwood leading Amherst 14-7.
Okay.
Central Group, Cedar Grove, Belgium. They've been struggling a little bit. They're leading Reedsville 36-6. Okay, a little surprised at that score.
36-6.
Yeah, Reedsville came in undefeated.
Yeah.
If I'm
You
correct
are
in what I
correct
saw.
on that, yeah.
Well, I just mentioned Clintonville. Well, they're down at the half, Brett, 23-3,
Okay.
23-6 to Crivets. And we know about Little Chute leading New London, 14-0.
Wrightstown, another one of those undefeateds in the Northeastern. Luxembourg, Casco, as I said, Freedom, Little Chute, FEL. I mean, I think the whole league. Denmark, I think, might be undefeated as well.
Yeah, I was just on the FRV show this past Saturday. I don't know when they run that. They run it Sunday. Oh, Brett, halftime at Titan Stadium. What is going on with Kaukauna?
What's happening?
They're losing 14-7 to the North Spartans.
Uh-oh.
I'm a little worried about that. I talked with Coach after that loss to Appleton, and he said, how do we respond? How do we respond to this kind of a loss? Well, it's not looking good after the first half.
Speaking of the first half, I'll run down the scoring here. All Kimberly, a 30-yard field goal by number 32, Hunter Berry, came with 2:04. At the 2:04 mark in the first quarter, that was after the fumble on the opening kickoff. Kimberly with a 3-0 lead, and then a pair of touchdown runs by Blake Berry. 1-yard run with 10:50 to go in the second quarter, and then with just 9 seconds to go in the quarter, a 2-yard touchdown run that came on a 4th and 2 direct snap to Blake Berry, capped a 14-play 80-yard drive. And there you have it, 17-0 Kimberly with the lead. As we look at our Cellcom, Cooney's Embroidery Sportswear scoreboard, Ricardo, Kimberly starts the half with the football as well. So I guess I always do this to you. If you're Chad Michaelwitz, if you're Rob Salm, what are the messages to your respective
Chad
teams?
Michaelwitz is like, hey, let's treat this game as if it's 0-0 right now, right? Yes, you had a nice first half, but let's get this done. Don't let your foot off the gas. Come out here and make a statement with this opening.
Put it away.
Put it away in a sense, because it's right now their defense is playing tough. You're Appleton North. You're looking first off to get a 3-and-out or a 6-and-out, whatever. Don't let them score again. And then on offense, let's figure out what we're doing here, because we have not been consistent. We need to get that ground game going. We need to hit some passes here, or else by the end of the third quarter, you're down 3 scores. Spread. It's hard to believe that they're going to come back against the Papermakers.
That's tough, right? If you go down 24-0. But yeah, I don't think you can't abandon the game plan yet either. We saw how effective Appleton North in that offense was last week. They got the nice running back and Jack Robinson. And of course, we like what we've seen with the quarterback, Luke Kreitzer, and Caden Pop and those receivers. But easier said than done against this very talented Kimberly defense, which isn't giving the passing game a whole lot of time. And frankly, Ricardo, not giving the running game much in terms of running lanes. They're
Brett,
closing up quickly.
May I ask a question? We have, are we doing Nina and Kimberly?
Let's keep that to ourselves for the time being.
All right. Just saying.
Easy now. Pop going to kick that one off, and I think it's going to sail into the end zone. 1st and 10 coming up for the Papermakers to open this third quarter. Again, thanks to everybody checking us out. PostCrescent.com, GreenBayPressGazette.com, the Oshkosh Northwestern Fond du Lac Reporter. I wanted to showcase this game throughout the Fox Valley region, all the Facebook pages, our USA Today Network Wisconsin YouTube channel, getting some tweets of some folks watching. If there's any alumni out there, send us a tweet. How you watching the game? PC Bretzi at PC DeLeon.
No, at Ricardo.
Or at Ricardo. See, I'm all mixed up. I almost said PC Ricardo.
I might have to change that.
No, you can't. You're already
something simpler, though.
You're already building up a following, though. Snap. First play of the second half. Going to
that.
Blake Berry. Wow. Looked like he was going to get stood up and instead dives forward for about 5 yards. It's always fun to see like the college kids, right, in their dorm rooms now that college is back in session, or their apartments, watching on the big screen TV.
We love it.
Call that officially a 6-yard gain, ball at the 26. So 2nd and 4 for the Papermakers, ranked number 2 in the state, both polls. Wow, Barry, good job just to kind of elude the initial contact. I thought he was going to get dropped. Just a little bit of a kind of a jump cut almost, and gets the first down.
He's very, very talented, Brett. Again, I have him for 120 yards on 23 carries.
Hey, Steve Seidel, Ricardo back. He wants to give a shout-out to Kimberly Papermaker and Badgers offensive lineman Logan Bruss. Logan tore up his knee in the preseason.
Unfortunate.
Otherwise, he would be starting for the world champion Los Angeles Rams. That's
and
right.
They needed him yesterday.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you, Logan, on your recovery. I'm sure you'll be back on the field in no time. Hopefully you're watching your Papermakers here tonight.
I'm hoping, and I have Logan's number. I'm hoping to get a hold of him and talk to him about how that's going. The rehabilitation process. Hopefully he'll be ready for next year because I know they're really excited, Brett, to have him where they drafted him.
Yeah, Ricardo, all those Badgers linemen seem to do so well. Right?
Love it.
I mean, how many Badgers linemen are on the Rams right now?
If he would have started, he would have been the third Badger lineman on that starting line for the Rams.
Wisconsin gets its reputation as being a running back university. It's an offensive line university. The talent that they keep churning out. How about Joe Thomas, maybe the best of the bunch, future Hall of Famer. Myron over to number 8. That's Garbish again, who's getting a lot of targets tonight. Third down coming up.
To the 43, so that's a gain of 7.
Both teams undefeated, 3-0 overall, 1-0 in the FBA. As I said, Kimberly ranked number 2 in both the WisSports.net state coaches poll in Division 1, also number 2 in the Associated Press large division state poll. Appleton North, I believe, number 8 in the coaches poll, and finally cracking that top 10, Ricardo, in the large division AP poll.
If you looked at the AP poll and saw the one first place vote for Kimberly, that was me. By the way, Brett, you're talking about Badgers. I got to mention him because he has had a phenomenal training camp for the Chicago Bears. Jack Sanborn.
Yes.
He came out of nowhere, and he popped right away. And right away, the Bears coaching staff knew this kid's special to make as an undrafted free agent. And I know the Bears are right now in transition, but still he popped. He's listed as the backup to Roquan Smith.
Yeah.
That's how highly they think of him.
He's going to be one of those guys that if you're a Packer fan, is just going to be a thorn in your side.
He is. He has, Brett, you know how sometimes you see players that have awareness? That's Jack Sanborn.
It's amazing.
And so what? And they played against, I think, Kansas City. Leo Chanel.
Yeah, he's good too.
He's good too.
It's amazing how
they have good linebackers.
It's amazing how some of those guys can go undrafted. I'm always amazed that Adam Thielen went undrafted.
Oh, of course.
The guy is a phenomenal
How
wide
about
receiver.
Cooper Kupp?
Yes, Super Bowl MVP, the Triple Crown winner last year. Direct snap to Blake Berry. Big hole, and he scoots through and gets it. Using that imposing front, right? Getting out on the move, letting those big guys show that they're athletes, Ricardo, getting them out on the run. That's a new little wrinkle. I kind of like that, those direct snaps with Blake Berry.
Yeah, that it got them the touchdown, the short touchdown before the half. Brett, I have Blake Berry, 25 carries, 125 yards. So, we haven't seen the real huge plays, but he has been consistent. And people always forget it's not just about those explosive plays. Can you grind out and churn up those minutes?
Good point. And I think that's Tyson this time.
24,
Gavin Tyson, a 5'9", 184-pound junior running back. Ricardo feeling like the Kimberly front starting to take over.
Yeah, I think right now at this point, Appleton North, you're looking for a turnover or maybe Kimberly commits a penalty that puts them in second and long or third and long because right now the offensive line of Kimberly is controlling the line of scrimmage.
And look at this already. Almost 4 minutes elapsed here in this third quarter. Kimberly in no rush, up 3 scores. It's going to take its time, keep running the football. There's Tyson, nothing doing there. Big tackle.
And there's the loss of yardage, maybe a yard loss. Maybe this is kind of the spark they need because right now you need something.
Looked like number 53, Brock Arndt, was in on that. Number 52, Ben Isom, those talented linebackers for the Papermakers, or for the Lightning, I should say. Setting up now a third and about 5, I guess. Ball going to be at the 48-yard line.
Loss of a yard on the play.
Maybe this is where you let Myron pick one up for you here if you're the paper makers.
His favorite target has been Garbish.
And Myron going to go
Going
deep, looking down. Nope, way as far as miscommunication there. They weren't even close to being on the same page. That was Myron to Garbish, and I think you got to punt it, don't you?
You do.
So that big stop, that combo tackle between Arndt and Isom on second down, set up this defense to get off the field and finally get his offense back on with 7:26 to play here in the third quarter. Brock Salm, the return man, and Ricardo, they're not, when they do punt, they're not punting towards him, are they? They're trying to angle this thing out of bounds. Make sure that Salm doesn't pick it up because he's one of the best return guys in the FVA.
Smart move, though, Brett. Definitely a smart move.
So now's the time, right, Ricardo? So, okay, the defense gets a stop. Down 3 scores, you got to put something together right here.
And this is where you're – but this is what we're talking about, Brett. We don't know what's the identity of the offense. Is it the run game? Is it the short pass game? I mean, Caden Pop had a big game last week against Kaukauna. We really don't know what Appleton North's offensive their identity is. Well, they're going to have to figure something out now.
Yeah, I mean, down 17 zip. Lightning need to put something together here pretty quick. 1st and 10, looks like ball at the 13-yard line, so a long field to go for Luke Kreitzer as he looks towards the sideline, waiting for final instructions. And he's going to hand off to Jack Robinson. Boy, not a whole lot of running room for Robinson or any of these Lightning backs. Close the holes quickly.
Tackled by number 4, Ethan Doucette. That's a gain of a couple on the play, bringing up the 2nd and 8.
Ball now at the 15-yard line. 2nd and 8 coming up. Big crowd here on hand. Look at those bleachers across from us, and I think that's a connection to Caden Pop across the field, Ricardo.
Caden Pop.
Looking at the Appleton North schedule so far, victories against Green Bay Southwest 15-13, and then the double shutout back-to-back. Green Bay Preble 42-zip and Kaukauna 24-zip. As for Kimberly, they took down Spash 48-13. That was week 1. Week 2, they demolished DeForest 49-zip, and then last week 42-7 victory over Oshkosh North. So
yeah, he was expecting DeForest to put up typically a very competitive team. DeForest, he expected a little bit more from them in terms of a competitive game. Didn't get it.
3rd down coming up, and I think the Lightning, they got the 1st down as Hamas with the carry. Well, DeForest, of course, a team that just recently won a state championship, beating Menasha 8-7.
Yes,
it was.
Exactly, Brett. Very good. And they were actually started, and I don't know how they're doing this week. They started the season 0-3, I believe.
Yeah, weren't they missing their quarterback?
Yeah, they are. They are.
But still, Kimberly right out of the chute, 40-plus point outings in each of the first 3 weeks. 1st and 10 now for the Lightning is Robinson, not much there.
Yeah, he was hit as he was lunging forward. Gain of a yard.
Braxton
Roeder, number 95, and Sam McGivern, number 99. A pair of defensive linemen in on that tackle, shedding the blocks quickly and bringing down Robinson, just a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, McGivern, Padgett, Roeder are the 3 down linemen for Kimberly in this defense.
And now Kreitzer, low throw to number 10, Owen Hager, the senior wideout. 3rd down coming up again for the Lightning. They'll mark it at the 31, it looks like. Big 3rd down again coming up for Appleton North.
This is a bit of a controlled offense, Brett. You don't see many shots down the field.
That makes it difficult to make comebacks, doesn't it? Is Kreitzer going to sling it? Oh, and it's dropped. Ooh, was that have been a fumble, or was that still a forward pass?
That was in front. That was in front.
I don't know if that was trying to set up a screen, but Kimberly was all over that, and now Appleton North is going to have to punt this ball away.
Again, give Kimberly's defense some credit, though, Brett. Those linebackers back to set, Dudek, and Schiesel, and then the defensive backs, Oberman, Stotts, Myers, and Lawton. I mean, that is a tough defense.
Good defense, isn't it? Yeah. Ty Lawton, number 2, back for the return. Ooh, nice. Well, look at this punt. Yeah, that is a high punt as Lawton somehow backtracks and catches the ball. That's a heck of a grab after a heck of a punt. That was a nice high punt with a spiral, everything beautiful.
You'll mark that at the 31, BC?
Yeah, and Lawton with a lot more guts than I would. I would have been running out of there screaming to get away from this thing.
Punt returns, they got to be the bravest guys around.
That's a tough job, isn't it? That is a tough job. You know, I mentioned some of the former Appleton North players. How about some former Kimberly players? Caden Pendleton, the former Kimberly quarterback. He's now playing at Carroll University.
Oh, Brett, I think that's Brock Salm being helped off, carried off the field.
Oh, I did not see that he was out.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that is a substantial blow to that Lightning defense. Wow.
Captain.
Was that on the special? Was that on the punt?
I believe so. 6'2", 200-pound, and let's hope that it's nothing serious. Look at Barry bouncing off, violently corralled.
Good defense, though, by the Lightning. Didn't see who got the first hit.
Tackle made by number 21,
Trent Mullen, number 21.
Cal Hansen.
And Cal Hansen, number 66, they're saying, but
loss of a couple.
Kind of blew that play up initially, nowhere for Barry to go. But, back to Brock Salm, one of your Elite 11 guys, a fantastic return guys we talked about, and such a leader on the back end of your defense. Hopefully
6'2", 200-pound safety.
Yeah, and he can fly. Hopefully
that's NFL size, Brett.
Hopefully it's nothing too serious and we can see him back on the field. A lot of time for Myron going downfield, and is it caught? No. Kreider could not come up with it, but that was really tight coverage.
Number 35 on the defense, Christian Pride.
35, Christian Pride.
Number 10.
The 6'1", 184-pound junior defensive back, Ricardo, getting in there to knock that free. Kreider almost came down with it.
I thought that was pretty good coverage too, Brett. I do like Myron taking that shot, but now you're 3rd and 12. And if you go 3 and out here, then Appleton North should have pretty decent field position. I wonder who their punt returner would be then.
Myron's got time again, fires across the middle. Good tackle.
Close to the first down, Brett, about a yard short.
Yeah, Mullen with the tackle right after the catch. Jackson Garbish, number 8, the senior, catching it. 4th down and a yard, half a yard, I think, Ricardo. Looks like the Papermakers are going to punt it away. Not taking any chances, up 3 scores, and relying on that defense to keep doing what it's doing.
Right, you don't want to give momentum swing to Appleton North. This is a team that right now is on the ropes, Brett.
Well, back to return. The punt is number 25, Nick Bergen, a junior in the place of the injured Brock Salm.
5'9", 145-pound junior.
Kimberly just going to keep
with the game plan, just kicking it out of bounds.
Kicking it out of bounds. Don't even give the Lightning a potential momentum-shifting return.
At the 30-yard line. 1st and 10 Lightning.
I'll finish up some of these other Kimberly names playing at the next level here at the next time the Papermakers are on offense.
By the way, start of the 4th quarter, FEL's up 17-7 over Xavier.
Okay. Tough start for the Hawks this season.
1st and 10 at the 30.
Direct snap to Hamas. Nice job. Wow.
There's just nowhere for him to
No,
go.
and it looked like Ricardo, he had some space, but then you see about 3 different guys in white jerseys just flying.
In for Hamas.
And bringing Hamas down for maybe a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
it just seems like every yard is really just as excruciatingly hard.
It's a chore, isn't it?
Yes.
Kreitzer back in at quarterback, and he's got some time, slings it, and yep, a little high on that throw.
No, you got to catch that. If that's right in your hands.
Jack Robinson, the intended
That's
receiver on the far
caught.
side.
Intended for Jack Robinson.
Brings up a 3rd and 8 now, Brett.
Just a little off, though, the offense right now, but it's because of how Kimberly's playing defensively. Very impressive so far in this game with 2:40 still to play here in this third quarter. But as Ricardo just mentioned a moment ago, everything is it's like pulling teeth. Try to get anything against this Kimberly defense tonight. 3rd down, Kreitzer going to go downfield.
Right here.
Pop, and a little off target again as Ty Lawton was the DB on Pop, but Pop had a step.
He had a step. It was actually not bad coverage. But, yeah, that when you're not hitting, Brett, and you're not in rhythm, those may seem like, you're shooting a three-pointer from 50 feet away.
Yeah, right. Just can't connect at all. So quick offensive possession for the Lightning. Lawton, who was the defender on that play, now back to receive this punt. Not much happening here in this third quarter. Pretty quiet as Lawton. He's just going to get away from it, let it bounce. Inside the 25, ball continues to roll down to about the 22-yard line. So that's where the Papermakers going to start this next offensive possession. But Ricardo wanted to mention, remember Owen Polakowski?
Oh, sure.
He was the FEA's co-offensive receiver of the year. He's going to be playing hoops, though, at St. Leo University. How about Cam Winnick, his partner in crime at wide receiver? He's playing collegiately at Winona State. And don't forget about former Kimberly defensive lineman Sean Barant playing. He's I don't know if it's still, is it winter up there at Michigan Tech, but that's where he is. It's probably like 20 below up there by now.
Probably.
Drifts
Brett,
of snow.
We have Jack Ryder watching all the way from Las Vegas.
Yes. You're going to be in Vegas not too long. I
will be. In November, as we see, is that Barry?
There's a flag. Flag is coming back. It's been a very clean game, and that's looks like a hold.
Well, Jack Ryder, he's saying, hey, I'm watching my little brother. He's number 57 on North. That's Brady. It's pronounced Lehman.
Oh, Lehman.
Lehman.
Okay.
So thank you, Jack, or Jake, I'm sorry, for
Lehman?
Lehman, Brady Lehman.
Thank you.
He's part of that great, is that linebacking core they got there?
Yeah, with Isom and Arndt.
And Stone Hulke. Just those are just great quintet of linebackers. This is all the way back to the 10. So, Brett, that's according to my Milwaukee math, UW Milwaukee bet, that's 1st and 22 at the 10.
Yeah, that is an embarrassment of riches at the linebacker spot. And then, well, you in your preseason preview of Lightning, they thought that if they didn't have the best linebacking core in the state, maybe among the best, right?
Right. The best. It's kind of hard to quantify the best, but they're right up there.
That holding call pushing the Papermakers. They're going the wrong way as Barry dropped for a 1-yard loss. So ball going to be at the Kimberly 9 now. And a long second down coming up.
That's a loss of 1 on the play.
I'll tell you what, Brett, there's just so many great players around this FVA. The defenses are on every level. You just see playmakers. It's like watching small colleges. Is how efficient they are and how well coached.
Well, the coaching staffs in this league, they don't take a backseat to anybody. As Myron fires it over to Garbish, about the 22-yard line is where he'll go down. I haven't talked about this series yet. Kimberly leads the all-time series 19-11. Papermakers have won 11 of the last 12 meetings. The last time these two teams hooked up, that was a state quarterfinal, Division I state quarterfinal at Papermaker Stadium. Appleton North beat Kimberly that night 21-10, a game we live streamed. The victory snapped an 11-game losing streak for the Lightning against the Papermakers.
Also Steve Jones' final game.
We did not know that. 3rd and 10 for Myron and the Papermakers. And another pump fake. Watch out. Brought down. Fumble.
I think Appleton North recovered
I think they might have. And let's see what the official calls.
Recovers his own fumble.
And no, Myron has it. His helmet's off. They're fighting under that pile. But somehow Myron was able to keep the football.
Let me tell you, Brett, they were going on a double move there. That double move fooled no one.
Trying to pump fake on the first move, right? But, yeah, they weren't fooled.
There were 2 defenders covering the receiver.
Pump fake, trying to catch the defense on the first move and then get him open on that second move. But like you said, Ricardo, all over that. And Myron, very fortunate he was able to grab that loose ball after he was sacked. Yeah, at that game last year, Ricardo, Matthew Shuckelman, he threw for 126 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cal Martini rushed for 91 yards and a score. That powered an Appleton North ground attack at 176 yards that night. As the third quarter comes to a close. 12 minutes to go here at Paulingen Field. 17-0. Kimberly still in front as we look at our Cellcom Coonies embroidery and sportswear scoreboard. Martini also on the receiving end of a 64-yard touchdown pass that night. Brock Salm, he had a big night defensively for the Lightning with 10 tackles. Blake Berry, he accounted for Kimberly's lone touchdown that night. That was a 2-yard run in the second quarter. That sent Ricardo Appleton North to the state semifinals where, boy, we talked about it last week too, but they fell to eventual state champion Franklin 26-19. Remember the Lightning had a 19-3 lead through 3 quarters, but Franklin responded with that 23-point fourth quarter. Of course, Miles Burkett, the University of Wisconsin quarterback now, sparking that big comeback for Franklin.
Another score, Appleton East leads Oshkosh West 10-3 at the end of the third.
4th down will begin with a punt. Appleton North expecting to get it near midfield. High punt. Kicking it again towards the boundary. Wow. First tackle misses. That's number 25. Again, Nick Bergen with the return. We're kind of showing some patience, Ricardo.
A little jitterbug.
Yeah. Looked like he was about to get drilled. Sidesteps that, and Appleton North will be in Kimberly territory kind of now or never, isn't it? Down 3 scores.
They need to make something happen. You have it in Kimberly territory here. Game's not out of reach yet, but if they can't score with this situation, Brett, it makes it really difficult.
Again, the big story in the third quarter is Appleton North safety standout. The senior Brock Salm had to be carried off the field. As Robinson looking for some tough yards and maybe picks up a couple.
Jack Robinson, the ball carrier.
Oh, they're going to give them 3 yards on that one, BC.
49.
Yep, ball will be at the 42.
2nd and 7, but yards just so hard to come by for Appleton North. And we talked about this, Brett. This is going to be a different Appleton North team. They're not going to have the explosive offensive fireworks they had last year.
Well, I was talking to some of the press box folks here before the game too, kind of calling it a slow build with this team. You know, regardless of what happens, as Robinson finally brought down by Doucette, who slings him down. 3rd down coming up, but you know at the end of the season how much better they'll be.
Well, they were kind of the same situation last year where they lost to Kimberly and then got much better as the season went on.
But that's always kind of the mainstays, right? To the MOs of these programs like these two we're seeing tonight. Always getting better, making that climb, and they start peaking towards those final few weeks of the regular season and into the playoffs.
3rd and 5 from the 40.
Kreitzer. He's going to drop back, fires over.
Oh, he has a
wide open. There was a not on the same page.
No. And that was good play design, Brett. Again, this is where you have developing with Kreitzer. This is kind of the growing pains.
Owen Hager, the intended receiver, he did get behind that defense, but
Well,
quarterback
Borland too over the middle, I believe, right? Or was that Hager?
Hager was
okay,
where the ball was thrown, but it looked like Hager going one way, the ball going the other. So
well, you
got
to go for it now.
Yeah, you do, down 3 scores, absolutely. So 4th and 5 for Kreitzer and this Lightning offense, down 17-0. Kreitzer going to fire over, and again, miscommunication. Hager, no, that was Caden Pop, I believe, was the intended receiver this time. Turnover on downs, 2 misfires in the passing game. And Ricardo, I see Brock Salm back out there.
Oh, that is
number
great
23
news.
standing right there at the 50-yard line. So good to see.
He had to be carried off. Brett.
Well, maybe he had a cramp. Is that a possibility?
Cramp, yeah.
So thank goodness that he's back out there, because he's a heck of a player and fun
Look
to watch.
out.
Wow, high snap somehow.
Barry
Did Barry come up with that snap?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who had it. I don't think Myron ever had control of that ball, and next thing you know, there's Blake Barry, he's hobbling off the field now. And he's got an issue with that right leg.
Now, is this also another cramping?
2nd and 5 from the 45.
So Gavin Tyson now the running back, and again, kind of a tricky snap. Tyson about the 48-yard line, so 3rd and 2 coming up. Trying to see across the way what they're doing with Blake Barry. What they're looking at, maybe the right ankle. And we don't want to see that either, obviously.
No.
One of the better running backs in the state.
128 yards on 28 carries he has tonight in a touchdown.
Yeah, he's been a workhorse. 2 touchdowns. Big 3rd and 2 for both sides here. High snap, Tyson, and he's going to be short.
Yeah, good push from the north defensive line. It's going to be 4th and short.
I think if you're Kimberly, I mean, it is like close to the stick. I think you got to go for it.
I don't know about that.
And it looks like they're going to bring the sticks out to measure.
I don't know about that, Brett. I'm going to tell you why. A punt here.
Oh, check that. There's a player down. I'm sorry, Ricardo. A Lightning player down. It looks like it's Salm again.
A punt here, Brett.
Oh, boy. That's
no,
23.
Salm again.
Salm coming out again gingerly. Boy, oh, boy.
Well, we were wondering how he was back out again. We're kind of speculating that it was because of
maybe
cramps,
not.
but
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Well, we'll see what Kimberly does. Brett, to me, I think you punt it. You pin Appleton North, which has not been able to move the ball on offense consistently. You make it that much more difficult for them to go all the way down for a touchdown. Then you still lead by 2 scores.
Look where the ball is, though. You need to get to the 50-yard line. It's half a football, if that. Offense is back out on the field. I'm challenging my offensive lineman and saying, we're going to get this half yard. Myron, hands off, and they got it, and then some. Yeah, Doucette coming in. How about that?
Brett, before the season started, I visited Kimberly's on the first day of practice, and I saw that play.
Okay.
They were running it. Doucette doesn't typically play running back, but they had a couple of key plays for him.
That's a nice little wrinkle as well.
And I saw them running that very same play. It must be for short yardage situations.
Yeah.
Hey, he converted. He has 8 yards, 8-yard carry.
Well, Ricardo's listed 6'1", 225 pounds, strong, fast kid. As Tyson now, as Blake Barry out of the game with an injury. And as you saw that play, they told you do not report on that play whatsoever. You couldn't leave Papermaker Stadium without signing some sort of an agreement.
Well, now it's in the open, but no, I don't ever do that.
Hey, they ran the play now. It's on film. I like that call just because let's put this thing away right now, right? We got the offense. We're going to bleed the clock. Let's get it.
There are also a few other defenders that had some offensive play set up. I'm not
Easy.
going to say who. I'm just saying they did.
Ricardo has information as Tyson fighting his way. Good looking running back. Down to about the 35-yard line.
Gains about 5.
You know me. I'm very nosy. I'm always looking.
You are nosy.
A little nosy.
Ball at the 35.
Third and short for Kimberly. Brett, you kind of get the feeling that this is a slow death here for Appleton North. As
I
got just over 7 minutes left.
So they're kind of working on that left leg for Brock Somm. I think it's still a cramp, the way they're kind of stretching that leg here on the bench. So maybe just a really severe cramp. Let's hope that's all it is Tyson trying to get around the edge. And he's short. And I think you got to go for it again based on field position.
Brett, I like this gambling, Brett.
I'm usually pretty conservative,
Yeah, you
Brett,
are.
But I think in this, the way the game has felt, the offensive line of Kimberly kind of taking over here.
What do you think of this Riverboat Gambler BC, Rosie? Kind of weird to watch.
Just think if I was a GM, like in a video game, I would just trade everybody. I would get rid of everybody.
And mold the team in your image?
I mean, that's why all these fans out there think they can run teams because they're so successful at Madden. Fourth down. There's Doucette again. Little stutter step. Good tackle. Mullen with the great tackle because that little stutter step, Ricardo, I thought Doucette had it. But Mullen came diving at the legs and turnover on downs. We've called Mullen's name a bunch of times.
I think they went to the well a little too often, Brett. Same situation going with Doucette.
Yeah, but again, based on where you are on the field, the ball's going to be at the 34-yard line. Trent Mullen, a senior defensive back, one of the team captains along with Brock Somm and Ben Isom. And Kreitzer, little option pitch. And brought down hard as Robinson. Not much running room there, Ricardo.
Gain of a couple on the play, 2nd and 8.
I'm going to look at Appleton North's offensive plays, Brett. There's one play for 8 yards. And that might be the longest play they've had all game. An 8-yard play. That's how difficult it's been for the Lightning tonight.
Robinson again, not much there. Clock continuing to run, 5.5 minutes to go, and down 3 scores. Got to strike here, right? You got to have a big explosive play. 3rd down and 5, ball at the 39-yard line for the Lightning.
Oh, there's a
pre-snap.
Yep.
So 3rd and 5 now becomes 3rd and 10. Still stretching that leg for Brock Somm. And I can't get a good look at Blake Berry across the way. Too many.
They got it. They got it hiding from you.
Yeah, too many.
Brett's nosy binoculars.
That's how I watch the game through my binoculars. Too many bodies in the way. Can't see number 6, so hopefully he's all right. Hopefully Brock Somm was all right as well. And 3rd and 10, back to the 34-yard line for Luke Kreitzer and the Lightning. Borland goes in motion as Kreitzer, watch out, pressured. Oh, nowhere to go. Nowhere to go.
Yeah, Brett, they had a screen set up.
Number 90, Sawyer Hanlon, the first one there, a sophomore defensive lineman.
Evan Elrod. There is a flag on the play.
Looks like flag against Appleton North. Kimberly will decline that after the sack. 4th down.
That'll bring up a 4th down. On to do the punting will be Ben Isom.
Very quiet second half as far as offense goes. 2 standout defenses not giving away too much. As Lawton trying to wiggle his way
On the return out to the 45.
forward, gets to the 45-yard line, and
By number
here's the
58.
opportunity now, Ricardo, up your 3 scores, just 4:20 to play. Just lead the clock and get ready for week 5 if you're Kimberly.
Brett, West Appear is up
First and 10 Papermakers, ball at the 45.
36-7
Phantoms,
over Ashwaubenon.
they're putting up some numbers. Putting up some numbers tonight and all season long are the Phantoms. Myron hands off to Gavin Tyson. Watch out, big lane on this near side, and you can see Tyson's speed inside the 30. Boy, there was just a big opening there along that left side of the line. Gets around the edge and turns on the burners. Ball will be marked at the 28-yard line.
One of the biggest plays of the night for Kimberly. Mustangs lead New London 20-0. Brett.
Tyson again getting some carries here with Blake Berry out.
Ben Isom, the tackler, along with Brock Arndt, number 53. A gain of a yard on the play, 2nd and 9.
Look, I can see Ethan Doucette there, number 4. He wants to get in there.
I bet.
He got a little taste of that running back life, right? He's saying, Coach, come on. I'm ready. I can see Blake Bear. Looks like he's got his right ankle wrapped in ice. So it looks like an ankle injury for Barry. Hopefully he'll be back soon as Tyson brought down. You know who that is, number 33, Stone Hulkey, the senior linebacker. 6'2", 210-pound senior. We think that he's got the best linebacker name
Gotta be.
anywhere in the state of Wisconsin, right? Stone Hulkey.
It looks like Amherst and Wittenberg-Burnham are tied at 21 now.
Wow, okay.
Amherst off to a slow start,
Yeah.
but they've been playing much better of late.
Uncharacteristically slow start. Remember that time we streamed a game
Yeah, we
at
did.
Amherst?
Them in Springs.
Yeah.
Let's do it again.
Well, we want to make sure that the internet connection is sound as Myron over the top. And fumble, and the Lightning got it. Abe Coronado, the junior tight end, with the reception. He was trying to make one more move to get himself into the end zone, drops the ball, knocked out, and the Lightning with it at the 5.
It's a 21-yard gain, Brett, but yeah, Coronado. Oh, tough break for the kid.
That is. He kind of put his hands on his helmet there. Good throw by Myron, good play call.
Ethan Kreider on the reception from
Ethan Kreider.
Myron.
Whoops.
And then the fumble. First down.
What do we got there, Brett?
Number 34, that's Jeremy Nelson, the senior running back.
That's a gain of about 4 on the play, 2nd and 6. Ball at the 9.
See if I can get some other scores here, Brett.
I didn't see, do we have a photographer here tonight? I didn't notice if we had Dan Powers or Bill Glasheen shooting it.
I'm not exactly sure.
I would have thought I would have noticed one of our guys going back and forth, so maybe not shooting this game tonight, but possible he could have been on the other sideline, maybe. So check out postcrescent.com later tonight, potential gallery. Otherwise, like Ricardo said, check out his recaps from the Appleton area schools, Appleton North, Appleton East, Appleton West, Xavier, FVL, and the surrounding schools, right? The Kimberleys of the world, the Little Shoots, the Freedoms. Who else we have out there? The Kaukanas, the Menashes, the Ninas. You can get that on postcrescent.com, but you have to be a subscriber. Third down for the Lightning. As the clock continues to run here late in this Week 4 game as Robinson, whoa, spun around. That's Ethan Doucette doing it again. Kind of grabs a hold of you, does a little dance out there as he's spinning you around.
It's true.
It looks like Ricardo, all the action as far as scoring going to be the first half. We're going to have a scoreless second half as under a minute to play here at Engen Field. Lawton with the punt return, wrestled down, and looks like guys will run one more play and until Week 4 becomes official. Ricardo, some thoughts before you get down to the field.
Yeah, for Appleton North, I mean, you lick your wounds. This was a tough loss. They had played so well the last couple of weeks, Brett. What you take away is on defense, they still slowed down Kimberly, right? Really, it's 14 points. They were given a tough hand to start the game with the fumble on the kickoff. But the defense, I thought, did its job offensively. What's your identity? Are you a running team? Are you a passing team? Can you mix effectively both of those areas together? I don't know. We don't know what they are offensively, and I think that's something we're not going to find out for a few more weeks perhaps. But that's what the whole season's for, Brett, progression. And as for Kimberly, as this game is going to end at a 17-0 victory for Kimberly, just do what you do. Kimberly, you hope that Blake Berry isn't seriously hurt, but this Tyson kid's a pretty good running back.
You can mix in Ethan Doucette now.
Yes, you can. And, again, Myron's developing still. They have a defense that, to me, has proven itself to be one of the very best in the state. They look like Kimberly, even under first-year coach Chad Michaelwitz. So I'm going to put this on my Twitter.
Yeah, I think the thing about Kimberly, Ricardo, is, they get a lot of attention of what they've been doing with offensively scoring 40-plus points a game to open the first 3 weeks. That's a tough defense, and it's going to be tough to put some points on the board against that unit. A lot of talent on the front, the linebackers, the back end. And I was very impressed also with Kimberly's offensive line tonight. I thought even though they didn't score points, they were able to milk the clock, possess the football. I would think if we had a time of possession stat, they held the ball for a long time tonight.
Appleton North now falls. This is our first FELF first loss of the season. Brett, I'm interested to see how they fare against the Ninas, the Fond du Lacs. Right now I think Kimberly is the best team in the conference. Nina, we haven't seen a score. I'm assuming that they held on to beat Fond du Lac.
Well, Appleton North has Nina next week at
Yes. Nina. How you bounce back? You're not going against a team that's really bad next week. You're going against one of the top teams in the league. So you can't sit here and dwell on this loss. You got to get ready to go next week.
I think Ricardo Nina is one of the top teams in the state. Actually, I've been super impressed with the Rockets. And at last check, what was that? 31 to. Let me see here if we've got anything updated as far as a Nina score. The last check I had was 31-14 at the half. So a 17-point lead for the Rockets. But to put 31 points on the board against a pretty good Fond du Lac team in the first half is pretty impressive. That's an impressive game. So, hey, that's Week 4. We got the game of the century done again for another year.
Hey, Brett, we're nearing the halfway point.
We're already past the halfway point.
We're Week 4. We still got 5 more weeks in the regular season.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Next week we'll be
past
at
it.
halftime.
But
yeah,
Brett,
my math was wrong.
Going by quick.
Yeah, it is.
Already.
It always
a month
does.
over already.
It always
into
does.
the season. So, guys, hey, have a safe trip back. I got to get down there and talk to both coaches and a few players. Talk to you guys later.
All right. Thank you, Ricardo. Gives me a chance to run down the scoring before we sign off for the night. And, again, everything happened in the first half. All Kimberly scores. The first was a 30-yard field goal by Hunter Berry with 10:04 to go in the first quarter. Made it 3-0 Papermakers. And then a pair of second quarter touchdown runs by Blake Berry. He had a 1-yard score with 10:50 to go in the quarter. And then with just 9 seconds remaining in the quarter, a 2-yard run made it 17-0. That came on a 4th and goal from the 2, a direct snap to Berry, capped a 14-play, 80-yard drive. He ended up leaving the game late with what looks to be an ankle injury. It looked like his right ankle was wrapped up in ice. So hopefully everything's good with him. Hopefully everything's good with Brock Salm as well. He had to be helped off the field a couple times, looking like cramp issues. So fingers crossed that both guys will be back on the field next week. With the victory, the second-ranked Papermakers improved to 4-0 on the season, 2-0 in the Fox Valley Association. Up next for the Papermakers, they're at Appleton East. That's the Fox Valley Association matchup. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m. Appleton North, the Lightning fall to 3-1 overall, 1-1 in FVA play. The Lightning, another tough one next week. They're at Rocket Stadium. They're taking on Neenah next Friday. That, too, was a Fox Valley Association matchup. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m. As for us, to be determined. I'll make that announcement soon on my Twitter account. Give me a follow at PCBrettC. We'll be somewhere, Rosie. I know that. But, again, you can access our previous Game of the Week live streams on our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. Just go to the sports section and scroll down until you see the Watch Our Varsity Game of the Week Prep live streams link. And one more big thank you to our sponsors. First, Cellcom. Fall into savings this month at Cellcom with up to $500 in savings when you activate a new smartphone line and trade in your existing device. Visit cellcom.com/save for details. And Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Get your team, club, or business name out there with Cooney's. They have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your organization. Contact them today at 920-731-0922 or send them an email at Cooney's, COONEYS0922 at sbcglobal.net. So for Ricardo, who's somewhere down there on the field, for Rosie, who's hanging out with me here in the booth, I'm Brett Christopherson signing off from Paul Engen Field here at Appleton North High School. Once again, the final score tonight, Kimberly 17, Appleton North nothing. Thanks for watching, everybody.